Okay, it's time to get it going. I know
All
the little
right.
one, she's quiet. Oh, I see you back there. We have with us, not once, but twice world champion. Not once, not twice, but multiple times best lifter at any meet that he pretty much goes to at this point. On the world stage, he's been the best lifter a couple times. One would say that he talks the talk, but he also walks the walk. Currently, he is the hottest ticket in town. I hate to tell you, but it just is what it is. If you are a man below 93, he might just out total you. If you are a man above 93 kg, he's eyeing whatever total that you have. Here's the part that sucks. He's so young and he's just getting started. That's scary. For us old heads, what are we gonna do? I'm pretty sure he totals more than me now than I did as a world champion 93 open. So I don't know how that's gonna work. How do I explain that to my kids? But
You
when
don't
they
got it. You
ask
don't got
me,
it.
when they ask me who Elliot Sykes was, I will tell them he's one of the best to ever get started. He spoke his mind and he backed up everything he said with his work ethic and with his output on the platform. And he did it while having a smile on his face, love in his heart, and maniacal intent in his head. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the young gun, the needle mover, the giant killer, Mr. Elliot Sykes.
You good with that. You good with that. I appreciate you, bro. You got me smiling ear to ear.
Listen, man, you've done the work. All I do is just I report what the streets tell me.
Man.
For those of us that are under a rock that don't know who you are, you take yourself a few minutes to talk your talk, let people know who you are, let them know what you're about, and we'll get into this thing. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been doing this sport for around 5 years since I was 15. I turned 20 tomorrow. I'm very much in love with the sport. It's given me a lot. It's given me my job. It's given me so many of my friends. It's given me like direction. It's given me everything, man. I love this sport so much. I started as a 66, moved up to 74. I was originally intending on moving to 83, but then I put up a pretty good performance at Sub Junior Worlds, put up 766 at around like 73 kilo, 72 kilo body weight, which got people chattering, especially the squat. And, this was just around the time, Austin Perkins was making his debut in the IPF. So naturally, the comparisons just started because no one else was close. And, over time, after that performance, I really, really stepped on the gas, really committed myself more than I ever had, partially because, it's just a different level of challenge I had to live up to. And now I'm here. I'm a much more filled out in 74. I've put up 852.5 most recently, youngest 800 kilo total in 74, youngest to pass 600 dots, youngest to get 120 GL, and now number two in the men's side by GL, which is pretty crazy. It's crazy that I'm here now, but it's even crazier that now that I'm here, I'm just not even close to anywhere near satisfied as I thought I would be. It
Nah,
was
that's what it's
almost
about.
anticlimactic.
I think the cool thing that the cool thing about lifters in general is that you get to a point where okay, my goal is set. Okay, now I've accomplished said goal. Now I'm gonna set a new goal. Oh crap, I accomplished that. Okay, I'm gonna set a new goal, and this goal is gonna be out there. This is gonna be a bit outlandish. I'm gonna set this goal, and then when you accomplish that outlandish goal, like okay, where do we go from here? Then it's not necessarily so much about the goals, but it's about challenging yourself to be better and better and better. Because then I think you start realizing, you know what? Every time I set a goal at this point in the career, I'm crushing it and I'm surpassing it. So rather than set a goal for myself, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the top off this thing. I'm gonna see how far I can push myself to do as much as I can with the whatever amount of time that I'm allotted. And I think you're really at that point right now in your young career. And it's exciting because I know that feeling. I mean, and while I probably started 20 years your senior when I started my powerlifting journey, I do know that I've known that feeling of like, all right, well, why don't I just cut the top off this thing? Let's just go convertible and let's see how far we can push our bodies. If I sit at said weight class, then so be it. But if my strength calls for me to go higher, fine, then let's get it. Because it's, I think when we stop chasing goals within a weight class and start chasing goals in terms of where's my strength going to be, where's it going to take me, it's a whole different ball game then. And then you start getting those comparisons to your, Austin Perkins and the greats. Because I mean, in all fairness, you're great in the making. And I think that's been the cool thing. I think the again, I mean, I'm gonna brag about you to your face. I think the cool thing that you've done that a lot of lifters your caliber haven't been able to do and haven't really been able to master is you bring people along with you on the journey and they really feel like they're a part of what you're doing. You allow you allow your inner dialogue to be outer, which is amazing. And it doesn't come off as like this like arrogant trash talk. It comes off as like, okay, this kid is either prophesying or he knows something that we don't know and he's just gonna show us. And every time you said something, it's pretty much happened. It's cool to see and be a part of the journey because I feel like everyone feels like they have a little bitty piece of Elliott's journey because they something you say resonates with them or something you do resonates with them or just the fact that you just have this exuberance and this absolute joy for what you do. I think that's I mean it's catchy, man. Like you want to see somebody do well because not only do they want to do well, but they're finding a way to do well, but also propelling the sport, pushing the needle forward, and really, making it their own. Like you have your own brand of lifting, dude. And I think that's why it resonates with so many people. I think that's why so many people like you. I think that's why like so many people are attracted to your journey because your brand of lifting is your own brand of lifting. Anyone else that tries to do it, they're biting. Like I've never seen anything like it. And certainly there's some amazing lifters out there. I mean, we can go down the list, but and I lump you and you and Gavin. I kind of lump you guys in the same in that same way of you have your own brand of lifting. That's why you're so many people's favorites. And shout out to Gavin. And shout out to Gavin real quick because this wouldn't happen without Gavin. I was a little scared to come up to the kid and really see if I could get him on the pod, man. And really, Gavin's like, well, you should get him on. I'm like, what? You think so? Gavin did it. Gavin pretty much pulled a D-Way LeBron for me. He lobbed it, and I just did the dunk. That's all I needed, and we got the kid. So I'm excited about it, which is cool. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is awesome for me, man. Because to get one of you young guns, man, it's a lot. 'Cause you guys are hot tickets, man. So to be able to find time in y'all schedule, this is huge. So. What got you into lifting? I know this. Everyone asks the same questions. We're gonna get to some juicy ones later. What initially got you into powerlifting?
It's so funny. So I started with like wrestling and swimming. I've been swimming since I was like 8 years old, wrestling since I was like 12. So then I get into my freshman year of high school, do wrestling, and I realized like, man, like these I'm not just naturally stronger than everybody else anymore. They, you got these senior boys who've been in the weight room for a few years and they're tossing you around. And you're like, man, like I'm used to being on the other side of this, but it was something. So I started lifting weights. I was always like a bit naturally strong, or at least since I had hit puberty. Obviously, when you don't got no testosterone in your blood, you're not you're not very strong. But it just took off quick. Originally, I was gonna do just some bodybuilding stuff, and then like I had joined some fitness forums, and it's funny. The dude who got me into powerlifting wasn't even a powerlifter. He was just a general personal trainer. He was like, "Yeah, man, I think bodybuilding's overrated. I think training your body for strength and putting force is really where it's at." And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And then I just like kept going for it, kept going with it. It was like I got into it around it would have been the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. So my first meet was 2021 of September. I went like something like 5 for 9 or something. I got one squat, one deadlift, all three benches somehow. But it was something new, no idea what I was doing. But the moment I got to that venue, with all the other lifters, I just felt accepted and brought in, and it was just not like it wasn't like any other sport I had experienced. Like there's camaraderie in other sports, but you don't go to usual like sports competitions and have
No,
everybody like embracing you like that.
no. The
Like
powerlifting community is different, dude. I think for those of us that, I mean, my story is a bit similar. Like I kind of got, not necessarily conned into powerlifting, but I really kind of got ushered into powerlifting, like by some older fellas, and they really kind of guided me kind of toward it because I really didn't know much about it. And I kind of had similar like a bodybuilding type journey, and I just wanted to get cut. I wanted to be jacked, and I wanted to be stronger than the average man, and you find out like, wait a minute, I'm actually far stronger than the average man. I'm actually far stronger than a stronger man. So I'm like, okay. But then you get to the meat. The community is what gets you, dude. The community is crack. I don't think people understand. If you get yourself to a good meet and get in a good community, it changes everything for you. Because you go from like wanting to be a competitor to like, you know what? I like going to these things. You know, I'm just going to go to a meet, just hang out. And they think, you know, like, wait a minute, dude. Like, these people know me. They remember me. I remember them. You know, let's see if we can make something happen. And the next thing you know, you're like, you're just doing any and everything that is powerlifting, and you really fall in love with it. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely identify with that. That seems to be a lot of our stories. Like, the community, you know, whatever individual goal might bring you in, but the community really makes you stay. And the community really makes you want to be more of a part of it. Speaking of which, being such a huge, you're a keystone part of the community, especially on that junior scene. What are, if any, you know, again, and this, a lot of stuff I might put you on the spot. Some of it I might not. I apologize if I do. Are there anything that you're trying to do right now to really, you know, galvanize the masses that are behind you? Are there some things that you're planning on doing as far as like just, you know, you? One thing I will say about you, you are the voice. Like you're a very logical voice of reason when it comes to a lot of these things. But are there any things that you've been planning on doing, or any things that you're doing behind the scenes that you can even tell us about that you may be doing to, you know, just contribute back to the community, whether it be spotting, loading, helping with meets, whatever? I mean, is there anything that you've been able to do since you've been a part of this pilot community?
Yeah, man. I mean, I try my best to give help wherever I can in terms of like whenever I get questions through my DMs, I do my best to respond to everybody I can. I
Right.
mean, I've coached a few people for free, just completely for free. Not
I
to,
know
because
that.
I mean, I don't advertise that at all. You know, like I
Yeah.
really try to keep it pretty closed down. But like, I'll answer programming questions. I pick up random people, not because I think you're a good athlete, I'm gonna make a name off you. Just
Yeah.
because, like I coach people with like 60-kilo benches that are
Yeah.
83-kilo
Oh
lifters,
no, I know
like
that for sure.
just for the sake of it, because like that's how I, managed to make it in the sport. Like I literally started in a sport like basically during COVID. I was at like a community rec center lifting, and I would have to like go on like Discord fitness forums
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey,
Yep.
how do I even do a deadlift?" Like,
Yep.
and you just get random people helping me out. I ran like the first powerlifting program I ran. It wasn't like some like I didn't get a coach or anything. I ran like Shiko for my first powerlifting program. I ran Shiko
I
intermediate
ran
medium
a small
load.
off, dude. So yeah, I know.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, dude, I know exactly what you're saying. I love that, dude. I mean, you know, I will say this, man. I really, like, we have a lot of similarities because when I first got started, especially with my coaching, my first 20, 30 clients were free, all pro bono. Cool thing. I still have some of them. Still don't charge them a
That's
dime,
sick.
but you know, you're right. I like what you said. It's like, you know, it's not something you're gonna go advertise like, oh yeah, I do these people pro bono. You know, like this is, you know, something I do. I'm giving back. Like it's not really one of those things like, I'm an Instagram influencer, you know, giving a homeless man $5, but I got to make sure that I have this. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. Because then it doesn't mean
it's
anything.
not genuine. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this because first of all, you know, now they're my guinea pigs. But back in the day, like you helped me get started and you gave me feedback and you were nice to me and you took a chance on me, and you know what I mean? Like here we are 10 years later, you know, and I'm able to feed my family. I'm able to keep a roof over my head. You know what I mean? I'm able to have a video wall, bro. I have a video wall.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
Right. So I think that's admirable, man. I think, you know, and here's the thing, I don't know that it, you know, it's a thing that people really talk about. I think there's a lot of coaches that do that. I think there's a lot of coaches that still offer free programming to people, that still help people out, that still answer those DMs. Now there's some that don't. You know, there's some of our number that really take it. You know, they take it serious if they see it as a business, and I get it. I can see both sides. I can see the side of, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I take care of these people, and you know, I'm whatever you need pro bono. Don't worry about it. You know, if you want to pay, cool, but I'm not asking you to. I could also see it as like, you know what, you can't walk into Walmart and get anything for free. this is my business. This is how I keep my lights on. I can see both sides of it. But, for those that choose to do that, to go that route, like having 3 or 4 people that you do stuff for free for, that you answer those DMs, man, it goes a long way. And I really feel like you do stuff like that. That's a blessing. I feel like those blessings, they really find a way of working their way back to you. Because let's be honest, not everyone can afford coaching, number one. Number two, not everyone wants a full-blown coach. Not everyone takes it that serious. And number three, sometimes it just feels good to do something just to do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's just do it. Like, bro, I know that you need help. You've been DMing me for the last year and a quarter. I've been helping you with this, that. Listen, man, I'm just going to onboard you, bro. Don't even worry about
That's
it. Like,
literally what happened with me and one of my clients. Like, I was leading up to Junior Worlds. It'd been like a year of this guy. His name's Sahil. He'd been DMing me for ages. I thought his name was Chris because he was just on a random alternate alt account, like anonymous alt account, just DMing me. He was asking me tips, and like he would tell me all the time about like how he would reach out to other coaches, and they'd tell him, like a little bit, and then it'd be like, oh, bro, you got to buy my coaching if you want all that. And I was like, dude, you know what, bro, like you've been asking me for tips for like over a year, and I've just been giving it to you, bro. I'm just gonna program for you. Let's just make it easy. Let's just full commit to it. Because like I could tell he was passionate, and he was a really nice dude. And he makes his silly mistakes here and now. Obviously, I'm not gonna act like he's the perfect athlete, but he's a good dude. And I like there's so many people like that in the community, because like in a sport like powerlifting, right? You're not gonna get the people who are going into it just for the money, because it's not a profitable sport. It's not,
dude. This is the most lopsided, financially lopsided sport known to man. It's a lesser known niche. It's just not, and for those of us that even have a blessing of getting anything out of this financially, like that's a blessing in and of itself. I mean, I will be honest, I'll tell you man to man. I mean, and I've talked about it, at length. There was a time that I was so afraid to charge people, number one. And then when I finally got the guts to actually charge people for the coaching, I didn't know what to charge them. And then, when I got over the fear of, okay, I'm going to charge them, then it's figuring out, like, what is my time worth? Because, like, do my accolades speak towards me charging you a ton? I don't know. But then does my gut tell me, man, I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like, to have to make a business decision almost at the gas pump. Like, do I really need to charge a ton for this luxury? And the better I get at it, does it really take that much more of my time? I'll just add another person onto the roster. Oh, she's nuts. What are you doing, baby girl? She's nuts. Apologize for those that are watching. My 1-year-old just learned how to walk, so she's walking and knocking everything down. She's going freaking King Kong on everything. What is life? But yeah, I think, there's something to be said about those people that they just show the passion and they show that they want to be a part of something. And, let's be honest, they just love what you do. They love who you are. They love what you stand for. And they just want a piece of whatever it is that you have. And granted, there's no secret sauce to this lifting thing. But there are some people that they just do a little bit extra. They have just a little bit something that not everyone has. There's a lot of strong people out there. There's a lot of strong 66s. There's a lot of strong 74s. But then there's just a select few you guys, really 2 of you guys, that just do it differently around this area. Now, you go to Europe, you go to Asia, we talk some Turkey then too. There's some guys over there that are, there's some killers over there.
Oh,
but
for sure.
In this area right now, there's a couple of you boys that just, y'all do it differently. And it's not that everyone else is not strong. Because we got some killer gorillas out there.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, there's just, there's about 3. I'll take that back. There's about 4 of you guys that are like, oh, man, and we're really at a point where we're going to see that 59, 66, 74 classification put up some of the dummiest numbers you're ever going to freaking think of. Like,
you could go to Worlds, bro.
Man, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get mad. Listen, well,
do you even know? Like,
the good Lord knows not to make me a rich man, because if I were a rich man, I'm like, listen, I'll just pay it for you, my boy. I'll just pay it nutso.
20,000 is a lot anywhere. You know how much
anywhere.
20,000 is in Indonesia?
I
Bro, their
forgot.
average salary, their average yearly salary is six thousand
Yeah,
dollars.
like
That's
you're
someone's
asking
life
this. Yeah,
savings. That's someone's life savings.
You're asking this man just to like, you know what? It's just, I don't know. I don't get, and don't get me wrong. I know that we don't have the perfect system. We don't have the perfect system, but man, let me tell you, if Robert Keller were to come to me like, "Hey man, I'm gonna need 1.2 million from you to guarantee," I'm like, "Listen, Robert, respectfully, we need to go in the app. We got a box, my bro, because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. There is not, and there's not a GoFundMe that I'm gonna put up. There is not a fundraiser that I'm gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna do is find out, like, okay, can I get dual citizenship in Canada? Or do I need to go USVI? Do I need to go Jamaican? I've checked my 23andMe. It says I'm from Ghana. Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna find some other place to go. I'm pretty sure African Americans right now they can get dual citizenship in like I think 8 other African countries right now. Guess what? Cash me in Africa because I'm not giving you everything
20
I have
grand, bro.
to
Like
lift.
what?
Yeah. And here's the flip side. Okay, let's say that I give you the 20K. If I podium, I'm not even gonna say win. If I podium, my country, I'm standing on the platform. I'm standing on the podium for my country. What do I get in return? Am I gonna get that 20K back?
Definitely not, bro.
Can I get my 20K
Definitely
back
not, bro.
if I'm bronze? If I'm fifth place, I should get my money back. Fourth place, give me 5K. Third place, I should get at least 10K. If I'm third place, that's 20K. If I'm second place, I better get 50K. And if I'm first place, I better get 100K. Because you're asking me everything
Yeah.
I got. Like, okay, so then, you know what I mean? So I feel like, there needs to be justice in that situation because that right there it's crap. It really is. And I mean, I don't know. I don't I would think that the IPF would step in and something like that because this is a guy that could very well go to the World Games and win the whole thing with the numbers that he's putting. He's putting up dummy numbers, y'all.
700 at
Like
59.
759. That's video game numbers, dude. That's something that a 5-year-old writes down that they want to do when they realize I want to be able to lift almost 6, 7 times my body weight. That doesn't make sense. That's gonna make you an ant, my friend. So I'm not a fan of how these countries, the governing bodies of these countries they're starting to like. I just feel like they're doing a lot of BS behind the scenes. We saw what happened with Agatha. We saw how they did her. It's like every time you turn around, they're doing somebody dirty for whatever reason. But then you want to turn around and take the glory for this person once they've done amazing and represented your country. So which one is it going to be? Is this an attempt to humble him? Is this an attempt to show him actually we're running things you're not? I don't know what it is, but I don't. Someone's got to get to the bottom of this because at the end of the day, what do you do? Like it's about the lifter, is it not? Like and this has nothing to do with the countries. And if it is like well no, because different countries have different policies, but I mean, in some sense, couldn't he be able just to do it on his own? Should he have to go through his country? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, I don't know a lot about the situation. But I know enough about the situation to be pissed off about it. I need to learn a little bit more about it so that I can make a more educated decision about it. Right now, my blood's boiling. I feel bad for the dude because no one wants that. You don't want that to
To
happen
see
to
a lifter
anybody.
get blocked from Worlds. It just doesn't
No
make sense.
sense. So, speaking of which, internationally, man, what we got? What do we got coming up?
We got Worlds coming up, bro.
Yes,
We got Open Worlds
sir.
coming up.
I just had to. So, is this first time in open? Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I ain't going to Open Worlds.
I was gonna say what now?
No, no, no,
I thought you knew so. I thought this was breaking
no,
news. Like,
no,
wait,
no.
you know something I don't
No,
know?
no, internationally. Oh, for me,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
me. So I'm actually, this is fun. I'm not planning on competing internationally this year. So I know there's people like, oh, go to NAPS, punch your wild card ticket, go Junior Worlds, try
Yeah.
and do something there. Listen, for me, Sheffield is cool. Sheffield is great. It's the most packed competition there's ever gonna be. At least that's on the
Yeah.
horizon right now. That's in the space right now. Obviously, Junior Worlds is awesome. I mean, I went
Absolutely.
twice. I love it. But here's the thing, man. One, traveling all the way to South Africa for Junior Worlds that I've won twice.
Yeah.
It's just not like financially, accolade wise, time, like it's just not worth it. It's a
Nah.
lot of energy, a lot of effort.
It's a hard travel, dude.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Two.
I've done it. I've traveled to Africa to compete 3 times, and it's a hard trip, dude. It's a beautiful trip, but it was this last competition that I had in Africa in 24. That one kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. It's not a. Here's the thing, man. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, but at the same time, it's a really difficult travel. It's a really difficult just trip. Period. So I totally get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I just here's my thing. I've proved multiple times now that I can perform on the international level.
Big
I
facts.
haven't I haven't had a single lift drop going from national to international, let alone a total. I've PR'd every single
Right.
time. I
Talk it.
perform. I consistently perform. I've done it not cutting weight. I've done it cutting weight. I've done it sub junior, junior. I've done it with 700 plus kilos. I've done it with 800 plus kilos.
Talk that talk.
Wait. So I'm not doing it to prove anything to anyone. Now, what I will say is my next comp is going to be here locally in Philly.
That's
It's
dope.
going to be Rising Tide.
Rising tide. Yep.
And for me, that's a big deal because one, I get to be in the exact area in the community that I'm
Mm-hmm.
with, like that I lift with. The
Yep.
whole entire East Coast, I get to represent a comp. We don't get any local meet, big local meets over here. It's
Nah,
all down
man.
in the South in Texas, all the way out
Yep.
west, or it's in another country.
Yep.
Like the closest meet I've gotten in the IPF has been all the way in Buffalo, New York. Like it ain't close at all. So
Yeah.
the only people in my family who have ever seen me compete, my mom, my dad, and my grandpa one time back in USAPL a few years ago.
Oh
So
man. So
for
this is
me,
gonna be a huge one for you, man.
exactly, I get my whole
Ooh.
entire family watch me, whole entire friend group watch me. I get to have everybody. I get to have my community there. It's just huge for me, man.
Gonna show up. That's the cool thing. I've done. One of my first meets I ever did was in. I guess it was in. No, it wasn't Scranton. It was in. I guess it was more East Central, East Central PA. And dude, it was one of the most fun meets I ever had. Like I will say for those of you that have never done a meet on the East Coast, especially in the Pennsylvania area, oh man, it's different. It is different. It is rowdy, rowdy. It is so much fun though. I'm excited for you, man. That Rising Tide is gonna be. I honestly, that's gonna be the meet of the year on a lot of people's bucket. It might be one that I actually try to go to. I'm gonna check my schedule and see how it all works out. But I might try to go check that one out because I want to steal some vibes because I'm working on something a little similar down here in Texas. So I just want to, I might have to sit down and pick the brain of a few meet directors. You know what I'm saying? And really figure out how this thing goes, man. But if and when that pops off, dude, you'll be the first to know. But
Yeah, man.
so we got Rising Tide coming up. That's gonna be huge. I'm excited about that. I've already heard from a few. I'm not gonna say who, but I've heard from a few people that that's what they're planning on really showing out. So now we got a big baller, another one. I'll say another one because there's some people planning on doing that. Hell, who knows? I might step out on that one. Who knows? Who knows? But I will say I have I'm supposed to be doing nationals, so I don't know. But
You gotta
I've
lock
been
in, bro.
dude, I don't know, man. I just the weight's moving the way it needs to, but dude, after having 2 surgeries and gaining 60 pounds, because you can't do anything but sit at home.
Yeah.
Cutting the weight is cool, but just getting back, it's like it's just the feeling because I read it. You know the feeling of when you walk up to a bar like, oh, I can probably do 700 anytime I touch this thing. I could probably squat 700 anytime I get up under the bar if I just had to. I can bench 500 anytime I touch the bar. I'm not quite there as far as having that feeling yet. Squats, yeah. Squats, I'm probably back at like, yeah, you know what I mean? Give me a couple weeks, I can load 700. Deadlift,
Deadlift harder. Deadlift's harder. Deadlift's harder.
Deadlift's probably like a 672-ish right now. Not quite like, you put 672 in a bar, I can do that. I can give you that for multiple reps. We're good to go. Not quite at 700 yet. Obviously, as you lose that weight, as you lose that belly, the leverages change a little bit, so position
Mhm.
changes a little bit. The breaking of the floor for a sumo lifter, it's either feast or famine. Either it feels amazing or it feels like gravity itself is just pulling it down. And right now, I'm like in a tweener stage.
Mhm.
Bench, we're finally around that 474 area, so I'm like, all right, we're getting there. But I mean, after having the bicep replaced, bicep reattached, and the shoulder worked on, like it's like you already know how it goes. The cool thing with you is that you have the testosterone running through your body like a young ape, and at the same time, you heal like Wolverine. So you don't know these problems. Something tells me you have a little adamantium for that skeleton of yours. I don't know. You're a different breed, my friend, and I love it. I guess the thing that I really want to know from you is just there's so many. I have a million questions as always, but what goes on in your head? Because you say amazing things, and you're off the chain when it comes time. But the thing that if anybody's ever watched you lift, you're a cannon, and then as soon as you get to the bar, you lock in like no one's business. And as soon as the weight's executed, boom, you explode again. So what? Give me that thought process. Listen, like I said, it's all yours. The floor is yours. Go.
Amen. Listen, I mean, like I said, I love this sport. So when I'm going out there, I'm like, dude, let's go. I'm back on the platform again. I'm having the time of my life. There is nothing I enjoy more than these moments. So when I'm out there, I just try and absorb it, experience it as much as I can. It's just you don't know how many times you're gonna get that feeling when you're on that national stage and people are yelling for you. Like
Talk about it. Talk about it.
it's crazy. There's nothing like it. There's really nothing like it. So I just try and soak up that moment because like in that moment it's just I'm doing what I love. People are cheering me on. And for me, when I'm feeling like that, when I'm happy like that, bro, it's almost like I feel like nothing can go wrong. So why can't I go lock and lift this weight? It's easy. It's easy. If
Absolutely.
I can exactly, if I can do this alone in the gym with nobody watching, nobody saying anything, if I got a bunch of people
Ooh.
cheering me on, I
Oh
can
my
do it.
gosh.
I can do it.
Do you ever find yourself feeling like overstimmed sometimes? Because like I train alone, for the most part, and I might come out of my dungeon, every now and again when I know like, oh, this is nutty weight, I could hurt myself. Do you ever find yourself like, that first squat walking out, you know what I mean, and like just when the people are like, let's go, Ellie, like it's just like I know when I hear my name getting yelled, I have to take a second. I have to take a second. I mean, I'm one of the most emotional people walking the planet. You know what I mean? I have a little thug tear that comes out every time. I get choked up. I have to choke it down. You know what I mean? If one of my loved ones yells my name, I'm gonna lose it. So I almost hold on. I hold on to the music just a little bit longer until like they say bars loaded, and even then I walk out and I just want it ripped off of my head, so I just don't hear anything. I walk in because I know that feeling of just it's a pride. It's all of the work has finally come to this. And then when you get that first squat, oh, it's just like this relief. Like now we're in
Yeah.
the meat. Now everyone in this room is in absolute trouble. Like, but here's the thing: I'm gonna smile the whole time. I'm having the time of my life, but I'm thinking of killing everything that's walking at that point. Talk about that feeling, I guess, of what it feels like going from Elliott's by himself training in the trenches to the first time hearing bars loaded at nationals. What's that feeling like? Is there a point of like emotional transition that you have to go through? Or are you just able to stay like locked in the whole time?
So there was like a point where it was like I had to really, really emotionally transition into it. That was for a while. And then, last year when I hit my first 800 kilo total, because that was coming off of probably like one of the worst meets for me I've ever had. Like my hip was injured going in the squats. I was like scraping by on the depth points. Had a pec strain on bench, didn't even show up close to how I wanted. And then I nearly bombed on deadlifts, nearly dropped my last warm up in the warm up room. And it was the first time like my total like went from meet to meet, like slumped. And I hadn't expected that at all because I had PR'd everything in training, everything was going great. And then, I just showed up on the day and it was like gone, gone. But I really dialed it in after that. And then going to the nationals, I just really, really hit that state. I don't know what it was. I just kind of accepted. I was like, listen, I've worked harder for this competition than I've had or worked for any competition ever before in my life. So, however it ends up going, that's how it goes, you know? There's nothing I can do to change that. I've done everything within my ability to do that, you know? So what is there to be, scared or nervous about, you know? The
Yeah, I like
result is
that.
in. The results are in. The work's
Absolutely.
been done. This is
Woo!
you enjoy the fruit of your labor now. And it worked
Absolutely.
out. It worked out.
Boy, did it ever. So, so like up to this point, what's been your like? Because you've had a lot of moments, man. Gosh, you've had a lot of moments. It could be a PR. It doesn't necessarily have to be at nationals. It doesn't have to be any like big meet. But have you had that moment like, man, I just love where I'm at. This is the most proud I've ever been right here and now. Have you had that moment yet? I mean, I'm sure you've had a few of them, but like, have you had a moment like, man, damn, I love where I'm at right now.
It was definitely my first 800 kilo total where I was like, listen, coming back after a meet, tragic. Then I came in, I went 9 for 9 for the first time in like first time in the IPF, first time in years since I think it was like 3 years since I had last gone 9 for 9. So I was like ecstatic. And that was my only 9 for 9 meet, the meet before that. So to do that, to hit 9 for 9, hit 800, and then that last deadlift especially, man, bro, I missed that exact same number by this much. I got it like right to my hips, and then I dropped it.
Oh, yep,
So to
yep.
so to go up there, pick it up, literally felt like nothing was on the bar.
Oh
Hold it at the
man,
top,
flow
drop it,
state,
exactly. Step over that,
state.
talk my trash, pop off. I mean, there was just nothing like that, I cried. I immediately ran back to the crowd, hugged my mom and dad, started crying. It was the best feeling of my life. And I'm gonna be chasing that, and I know it's gonna come soon. I really think that Rising Tide can really bring that for me because it's gonna be
Hmm.
surrounded by my family, it's gonna be surrounded by my friends, my community,
Yeah,
and I think it's gonna be a big, big statement meet for me.
yeah,
I'm pretty hyped. I mean, I feel like I make statements every meet, but I think
absolutely.
this is gonna
But
be
this is
different.
one your calendar. You've got the dates circled on the calendar. Like this is the one that I really want to show. Like
Oh, oh
and
yeah.
I think there's something like you got me all misty out teary eyed talking about fam. Sorry, I'm a
You're
big
good,
crybaby.
bro. You're good, bro.
I think one of the coolest things about the sport in general, man, is like it's hard to explain. It's such a lonely sport when you're really focused on being the best you can be. That means I love you, mom, love you, dad, love you, wife, love you, kids, I love everybody, but I gotta go to a place that you can't come with me to this place, right? I gotta go to a place mentally and physically that you're not allowed to go to unless you plan on taking this trip with me. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna hate it sometimes, but I'm gonna love it most of the time. But I gotta go to the darkest of dark places, the loneliest of lonely places, in order to get this out of me that I really want to get out of me. And then you go to that place temporarily, whatever it is. If it's I gotta go to the darkest place to put this weight on my back, then so be it. I gotta go to the darkest place or the most remote places in my brain to make sure I lock in on these deads so that I don't mess up, that my technique stays locked in. Because listen, I can pull it, but I'm not pulling it efficiently, so it's not moving the way it needs to move. I know that if I chose to pull conventional, it might be a little bit easier. But for some reason, I chose to be a sumo guy, so I got to lock in this technique more than anything else, and I got to wedge the way I know I need to wedge. I've been watching my videos over and over and over. I'm not wedging the way I need to wedge, and it's not moving the way it needs to move. And when you finally get there, you wedge the way you're supposed to wedge, the slack disappears completely, and the bar just comes up like it's nothing. There's no oscillation, and you just lock. It's like, where was this all the time I was training? I know that exact feeling, dog. I know that exact feeling. And like the only thing you can think to do, again, I'm a big crybaby because I'm literally in it right now. I know that feeling. I know that feeling you chase over and over and over and over, and just to get it. I don't care if it's first attempt sucks, second attempt sucks. That final attempt, it's more weight than I've ever done before in a meet. I'm locking in. I don't care come hell or high water. I don't care if I break my back doing this. I'm gonna lock in the way I need to lock in. I'm gonna stand up this way, and I'm gonna come out victorious. I don't care if I'm beating somebody or I'm just beating the old me, dude. I know that feeling. I know that feeling of running to the crowd and giving your loved ones a hug because, like, they don't, they have an idea, but they don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? And so all they know is my son, my son, my grandson, my loved one is busting his butt at this gym to make himself better. He is a champion. Everybody loves him. They love him for some reason, and he's out there putting on a show. And they know that it means something to you. Therefore, it means that much more to them. So I know that feeling. I know what it's like to just want it, man. And regardless of if you wanted it a million times or it's your first time, you continually chase that feeling of being the best version of yourself every single time. And I think you've mastered it, dude. Like, up to this point in your career, I wish I could have been at the point, in my lifting career where I could really lock in the way you lock in, where I could have enough confidence in myself to talk the talk and go out there and really execute. You continually do it over and over and over, and it's beautiful, man. Like I said, I'm a super emotional person when it comes to this.
I appreciate you, bro. No, I
Oh,
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
you've mastered the way of just putting your foot on the gas, man, and not letting off until you decide, okay, it's time to chill. Let's go do some drop sets. Winners. Again, a lot of this is it's not just it's part of it. It's fanboying. Part of it's just want to know what you top lifters think of, man. Where does that come from? Like that the ability to just lock in and knowing that I got to get this particular thing done or it's not gonna be good. Like I got to get this done this way, and knowing like, all right, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's my way. Where does that come from of figuring out, okay, which way is the best way for me to get to where I need to go so that I can make sure that I make the proper adjustments and or just come out victorious based off of what I did last time? Like, where does that come from? Have you always been that way in terms of just being able to process it all, lock in like that? Or is that something you've had to work on over time?
Or no, man. Yeah, I've had people tell me you just always been like that. Like just assume that I've always.
Yeah,
Nah, man. Nothing like it. Like, dude, I my first years of powerlifting, oh, it was brutal. It was brutal. I was not locked in anywhere near some of my peers and some of the people I knew. Going
right,
to the gym maybe twice a week. Going out late, spending time with the wrong people,
yeah,
surrounding myself with the wrong people that didn't really value what I was doing, didn't really care
right,
what I was doing, didn't even really know. You know, and it held me back a lot. But part of that was experiencing that, so early on, so young, and just getting ripped out of it by like, the other people I surrounded myself. And part of it, honestly, bro, part of it's pure luck. Part of it's pure luck. Like, there's some people I'm sure who've gone through the exact same situations, didn't do anything different, and didn't end up as lucky as I did. Like, I don't know, man. A large part of me, I like there's no way I would be here without the other people in my life. It's it's honestly insane. I can't even take credit for the state I've reached
right.
mentally, because like a large part of it has been just like learning to trust the right people, learning
Absolutely. You got a good
who
camp.
has that best interests for
Right.
you.
It definitely
Like
takes a village. Having a good village,
exactly.
having a good set of people around you, having people that the thing that I found, and you'll probably agree with this is you tend to become more successful when you're around people that care about your success just as much as they care about their own. And in return, you care about their success just as much as you care about your own. And so it goes from individuals that have this individual goal of doing these amazing individual team things to a bunch of individuals that have all similar goals, but each other's success becomes the goal of the other person. This is the other one. It's nuts out. Additionally, I do feel like there's a point where everyone has to decide that this isn't a me thing. This is a we thing. And I want to be great, but I want you to be great. And it's like this unspoken commitment for everyone to push each other to be better, and You know, there might be one amongst the number that might be a little bit more talented than everyone else, but they don't act like that. They don't act like they're the most talented person. There might be one person that just, you know, just gets a little bit more shine than everyone else, but they never act that way. And as a result, they want that success even more for you. Because let's be honest, man, in your group, I mean, you're a star, dude. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being a star, but I think the cool thing you've managed to do is while you are a star, you don't come off like, oh, I'm the star. You know what I mean? Like while you are the it right now, you don't come off like, oh, I'm it. What you come off as is, dude, I got it right now, but who's to say I'm gonna have it tomorrow? Let me grind as hard as I can. Let me push this as far as I can. Let me try to enjoy this as much as I can, and let me try to bring as many people along with me as possible. I think that's why you're starting to see as much success as you're seeing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, your work ethic is second to none. But you also have a camp of people that want to see you be successful, number one. And number two, you pour into people as much as they pour into you. And I've noticed everyone that I've talked about you too, they've had nothing but the best stuff to say about you. You know, it's one thing I will tell you. There's a few people in this game that I just trust their word like it's gold. Gavin Aiden's one of those, and Gavin Aiden will sing your praises starting Sunday till Monday. Come back around to the next Sunday, and he's one of the people that I trust. You know, so very much in this game because I really I like the man that he is, the man he's grown into be, the man he's become. And he speaks so highly of you. He talks you up, and you know I mean it's I had no doubt that you weren't you were gonna do it's not like he was gonna disappoint. If Gavin tells me like that you're the truth, then you're definitely the truth. You know, and it's crazy because like I have my own two eyes, I can see. I mean, you know what I mean. Like I've literally watched you. You know what I mean. But to have that reiterated by Gavin, I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. So I wasn't wrong in my gut feeling about this dude, and you just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And I literally remember being in a PA meeting on the board. I was when I was on the board, and you being a subject of the meeting. Not in a bad way, but just like, like the Elliott kid is crazy. That kid's crazy right now. And you know what? As you should, because you put on a show. I mean, I'm like, dude, I kept saying like, dude, this Bleach Blonde kid is going nuts so right now. Like, what's he on, dude? This dude is nasty. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure you were on Cloud 1000 at that point. But I remember I just went up, dapped you up like, dude, you just put on a show. Like, thanks, bro. And that was it. I was like, whoo, he's next level. And I just, from that point, I just kind of kept my eye on you. You just kept boop, 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 boop. So yeah, this is kind of a podcast. This is more of a, hey, I'm going to brag about you to your face session, really. But I really enjoy just how highly people speak of you. You know, I enjoy at nationals. Like, I mean, for those that were in Reno or South Lake Tahoe rather, and you know, were able to kind of see you do your thing. You went out, you did what you do. You did not disappoint. But after it was all said and done, just watching how so many people came up to you. You know, can I get a picture? That was awesome. You know, like, great job. Let me introduce myself. You know, this, that, and the third. And, you know, like, you were with your family. Like, all right, cool. Kick it with the family for a little bit. Then you go. You do your little thing with everybody else. You come back. Kick it with the family a little bit more. But you didn't skip a beat. And every person that came up to you that said something to you, you literally made them feel like they were the only person in the room. That was one of the coolest things that I noticed about you. And that made me an instant fan, dude. Like, that alone, from everything else that was going on, lifting aside, there's some great lifters that are just not great people. And there are a ton of great people that aren't the best lifters. And you're one of those rare breeds that you're a great person, you're a great lifter, and I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit because of that combination that you have. But you literally stopped time for so many people, and you gave time to so many people, and you really made everyone feel like, hey man, like, dude, you see that? And then maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, but there's I forget the kid's name. There was a young dude went up to you, said his piece to you, kind of dapped him up, hey, you did a good job, yeah, thanks very much. The dude goes to walk off, and he gets with his buddies, like, dude, I can't believe I just met him. I thought that was the coolest freaking thing, man. And, it used to be where people didn't really come to see the guys that were below 83. people didn't really come to see. They came to see the 93 and up, like, you know what I mean, and then Russ came and kind of changed the game for the 83s. But before that, people didn't really care that much about it. I'll take that back because there was Brett Gibbs and John Hack. I'm
True
sorry,
that.
guys.
True that. True that.
Shout out to
Sorry,
the legend Brett
guys.
Gibbs. Love you, boy. Keep it killing. Keep killing down there with the Kiwis. But there was a time where if you were below 83, no one really cared. Like, those are little dudes. They're fairly strong. And then there was a point where it shifted, and I think it was just like, all right, well, those dudes are stronger than everybody, And when because the Wilkes didn't really. That Wilkes formula didn't really show how strong people really, really were. When he started, moving over like to dots and the good lift, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Those GL points are, wait a minute. This dude is what, you know what I mean? And then something happened in the last 4 years where, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter about the GL because this dude is totaling more than 93. It's like, you total more than I did when I won a world championship as a 93 open. Let's talk about that, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh
So,
man.
yeah, man. You know what I mean? And I can't even say, like, oh, well, coaches told me to put it, all I needed enough to win. I mean, you didn't have to have over an 830 to win, so I did 832 and a half. Like, nope. You just out-totaled me as a 93 world champion.
Man.
2017. Like, that's how far the sport's come. And, you're one of the faces of the changing of the guard. You're one of the faces of the pushing of the sport. There's going to be a point where, it really, in my opinion, where, like, right now, who's breathing that's going to challenge Austin? There's no one. Wait a minute. There is someone. Dare I say, there might be two someones. But, like, as of right now, there's only a couple of you guys out there that, that can be mentioned in that same sentence. And again, it's not a knock on you. But we're going to speak on Austin's greatness because he's one of the best that's ever done it. It doesn't matter what weight class. But
I mean, I'd go as far as say, bro, he's like on the men's side. I mean, he's
no,
the only person I could hold a candle to who could hold the candle to him in terms of like what he's done. Shell. Like, that's the only person I can think
that's
of.
it. That's it.
That's the only
That's
person.
And I feel bad saying it because, like, with him, Shell, it's like, okay, he almost is in his own category.
He done everything.
He's done everything.
World games, world games raw, world games equipped.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And
multiple
I
classes,
feel bad.
like,
I've been called out for this before. It's not that I don't feel like he's great. I just feel like there's some people that, God, no disrespect to any lifter out there. This is not meant to be disrespectful. Hear me when I say this is not meant to be disrespectful. But there really is only one man that's breathing that's done what he's done, and he's him. Like, that's it. So to mention anyone in the same sentence with him would mean they would have to have won damn near everything raw, everything equipped, then go over, on the international side, go world games and smack everybody on both sides. It's never been done by anybody else. So, for me to mention anybody in the same sentence with him is, honestly, it's not fair to him. I mean, it's really tarnishing his legacy. So again, there's no knock at all. I know who's who. There's him, and then there's literally him. There's people that claim to be the GOAT, and there's literally the GOAT. And as far as I'm concerned, he really is the GOAT. There's no debate that he is the GOAT. Let's just be honest. Like, the dude can take 2-3 years off, come back, and still smack people. So understand what I say. This is not a knock on him. This is just, let's give respect where respect is due. I don't feel like anyone should ever be mentioned in the same sentence with him until they do what he's done, and no one has. So let's be honest. So now that that's been cleared out of the way, with Austin is, does he have the potential to be next up? I do believe so. I feel like Austin, he could be on the verge of having an Atwood-like run if guys like you didn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, but that's a great thing for the sport. You know what I mean? There's not just one king. And in order to be king, you got to beat the king. In order to be the king, you got to beat numerous other kings. Like, it's amazing for the sport. And the thing is, Austin's not, you watch Austin right now, it's not like he's showing any signs of slowing down in any form or fashion. He's still a young buck, much like yourself. So it's like, all right, this could be one of those things where, like, you know what? If people don't get right and get tight and really, come with it and have your money and everything ready, We might have one of the first times we see two American 74s competing at Worlds. That's a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've gone where, like, you know what? 59 couldn't, hey, 59 couldn't make it, or the 66 couldn't make it for whatever reason. We're in the, we're in the 12th hour. You know what? Guess who's next up? Because here's the thing. It's not like you're it's not like you're never gonna be, you're always gonna be, if you don't win it, you're always gonna be, oh, well, I guess I know who the first alternate is. Who is it? Well, look at those points. Oh, okay, that was a dumb question. We know who that is. You know what I mean? Like that pound for pound is ridiculous. Redonkulous even. So we always know that you're right there. You're right there. So in my opinion, I think it could happen. I think it could be one of the first times we say, like, wait a minute, we have 274s going. What? Oh, wait,
Man, I mean, right now I'm first reserve. That's the thing. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
The only reason there won't be 274s this year if someone were to drop out is because I'm full steam about next year's nationals.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
for me. Is it?
Yeah.
Because open worlds is awesome, but I just don't. My goal right now, my only goal. Listen, I'm second pound for pound. I'm second in the weight class. So there's only one guy above me, and there's only one guy I ever want to hear above me. Listen, everyone's talented, but I need to talk a little bit of smack right now. Listen,
go ahead, say your stuff. Let's go.
Y'all can all be open national champions in your weight class, but y'all don't got Austin Perkins in your weight class. I do. So just because you're an open world champion and I'm not, listen, you better hope. Listen. Oh my gosh, bro.
Got it.
I'm hearing people say a year ain't a lot of time, a year ain't a lot of time. Bro, I ain't got as many years in the sport as some of you guys. And I think people don't realize that. And I think that scares some of the lifters, I think scares them. Because, listen, a year in the sport when you're like 10 years in, okay, yeah, that's not a lot of time. I can appreciate that, you know? You might put on 10 kilos, 20 kilos on the total. Listen, I just smacked 40 kilos on my total in 6 months. You're telling me
you said I can't do more in a year? That's crazy
work. You're telling me a year isn't a lot of time? Listen, bro, that's 25% of my career. That's a quarter of my career. And you're telling me a year ago, my best nominated total was 766. My most recent was 760. Now it's 852.5.
Like, what are we talking about? It's apples and oranges right now. So yeah.
You want to tell me what I can and can't do? Listen, you better hope. Listen, you can say, oh, your progress is going to slow down. You better hope it slows down. For your sake,
you better hope my progress slows down.
And I'm not talking to Perk because Perk's a dog, bro. He ain't said anything since I competed.
Nah.
He just been saying, I need to put up more. I can respect Perk, okay?
Absolutely.
Because I know, he may not say it, but I know he knows I'm coming. He knows I'm coming. He can say he doesn't. He can say he doesn't think so. But I know in his heart he knows, and he's prepping for it. I've seen his coach say it. I've seen him say it. Listen, he knows. But there's some other people, 83, 93 and up, saying, oh, I don't know. Perk's just too good. I don't think Elliott can catch him. Too good for who? Too good for you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't project your insecurities on me.
For me. Exactly. Listen, if you don't think you can do it, that's fine.
That's on you.
I know I can do it.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that people gotta understand. Like, don't put your insecurities and your limits on me, bro. Like, there's no top on me right now. I'm rolling a straight convertible. I took my ceiling off. I'm trying to push it to the sky. Like, in the thing that's cool is, like, Perk's never gonna talk like that. He's never gonna talk like, oh, I don't know. It's not about that. When you're sitting at the top of the hill, when you're sitting at the top of Mount Olympus, you know what I mean? You have no choice but to look down at your royal subjects and see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's great to be king. That's how you're supposed to be. But here's the thing: the difference between a great versus a non-great. Perk's great because he's gonna get in the lab and he's gonna work. He's gonna work. Now, is he gonna be looking around? Where's Elliott? No, not at all. But he's gonna look occasionally? Okay, I'll see you, young buck. All right, bet. Okay, you know what? I'll see that. I'm gonna raise you because that's what champions do. That's what champions do. Like, now, you can't win if you're looking back behind you, looking in the rear view. You got to keep looking forward. And Perk, Once he got the top of the crown, that's exactly what he did. He kept looking forward, he kept pushing himself. Because here's the thing: if you're at a point where you're at the top of the mound, you can't use someone else to push you. You got to be at a point of pushing yourself. Now, once the hunter becomes the hunted, then you have the target on your back. So your job as the hunter, Elliot, my friend, is to aim for the king. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, here's the thing. If I'm like, hey, you know what? I feel like you can only get 60, maybe another 60 kg on your total. Bet. I'll see that. I'll raise you another 60. Like, I think I could probably get at least 120 on mine. Like, just give me time. If I can do 60 in half a year, imagine what I can do in a full year. Imagine what I can do if I'm healthy. Imagine if my back doesn't hurt. Ooh, imagine if I get this deadlift down perfect. Now you're in trouble. Listen, I already got the squat down. You see it. Look at the
And then
receipts.
I just at nationals proved it. There wasn't a single person in that room, other than maybe my dad and my family, that thought I was gonna get that pull. But I'm telling you, bro, I
Tell you,
walked on
man,
that platform. I was staring at the ceiling. I was like,
it's over.
it's
It's over.
over. It's over.
That's what it's about. I'm excited for you because again, I think that's the attitude that must be had. And here's the thing: people keep forget. You want weight classes to have battles. That's where we get the dummy numbers. That's where we get the cinema. That's where we get. Oh, were you at nationals this year? That's what we get. Like, hey man, Perk, I love you. I love that you're lifting and you're doing all these big meets and everything, but you guys need to see each other, man. We got to get that showdown. We got to get it happen. Like, if I can make it happen, you let me know what I can do to make it happen. Do I need to holler at a sponsor to be like, hey, you know what? I'm putting up money. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna get money out of this, but we're doing duels. I don't care how it is. Like, we're gonna get at least the top 1 and 2 of every weight class in the U.S. We're gonna get them to come down there and lift. I don't know how it's gonna work. We got to get it to work. Whatever we need to do, we need to make it happen. I think that's the cool thing is. Now we're at a point where everyone has so much lore and so much strength that we want to get it all in the same room. But Perk's playing the game like a champion plays the game. Do I need to go and do this? Well, you know what? I just put up this stupid total. If you can beat me, then that's what's up. Here's the thing. I'm not going to come down from Mount Olympus if I'm sitting up there like Zeus unless one of you mere mortals put up a total that's good enough for me to come down off my throne. And until that happens, I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to eat shrimp. I'm going to watch the mortals do their thing. And I'm going to get prepared for Worlds, and I'm going to get prepared for Sheffy. And each time I go, I'm going to get a check. And each time I go, I'm going to get another check. And I'm going to keep getting these checks till somebody takes this food out of my mouth. So how are we going to do it? And Elliot's down here like, all right, that's a bet. Let me see if I can climb up there and see if I can get with you. And that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not saying this. Here's Joe is a dog.
No doubt.
He's a dog. Perk is a dog. But I'll tell you right now, I don't know who I'd rather go up against. I feel like Perk is nasty, man.
I mean,
I feel like Perk is dangerous. But I also feel like Joe is he's nasty too. But the one thing that we have to take into account is when you're aiming for Joe, don't forget you got Taylor Atwood back there like,
that's true.
Yes. So people keep forgetting Taylor is new to this weight class.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't even in this weight class yet. Not really.
Not really.
People like, oh, he's 37, 38. Boy, Taylor hadn't even hit his old man strength yet. That's what's crazy. You realize this man has one more jolt of strength coming? You realize this man was a legit professional athlete prior to all of this? So powerlifting wise, he's still kind of young in the game. This dude's got a whole nother jolt of strength coming. You guys are sleeping. I love Joe. I'll say it publicly. I love Joe. I think he's a dog. But also, I'm not going to sit here and discount or discredit who Taylor Atwood is. That man was him before him was a phrase. You know what I mean? Like, again, we're talking talk right now, but I'm being honest. Taylor Atwood, he's still got a little bit of him left in him. And a lot of how you roll is very reminiscent of Taylor Atwood because Taylor Atwood would talk that talk. And then he would turn around and hit him with some fact. We haven't seen this type of confidence walk onto a platform and people popping off like this since Taylor Atwood back in the day. And it's crazy because back in the day was only like 3 and 4 years ago. Like, you're different, bro. You're different. But we forget this powerlifting thing. It recycles itself over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the one thing you can guarantee is there's going to be a 74 that makes waves every 3 or 4 years. Some new 74 comes along. And the hard part with the 74 is you guys are always a biscuit away from being an 83 or you're a fart away from being a freaking 66. So you just never know. Like, you guys, you solid 74s, they're putting up numbers like 83s. That's very, 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 very scary. And that's where I feel you sit at, my friend. You're in a very scary spot because if you decide, like, you know what, I guess I'm just going to eat a little bit. Let's go throw a little protein in the diet, a little bit more. Let's hit a surplus. Let me see how many kgs I can really throw on. Then they're like, wait a minute. So we didn't think he could gain 60 kg, but this guy just put 150 kg onto his total. Now we're talking about something just otherworldly. Like, hey, wait a minute. Is he going to be the first 83 that goes 2,000 plus? Is he going to be the first 83 that takes a knock at 2,100? Because that's where I feel your strength is projected. If you go up, we're talking about video game numbers. You're doing them a favor. I'm talking so much trash on your behalf right now. You're doing them a favor by staying in 74. That way we don't put up any any bulletin board stuff for you. But yeah, I just think you're a special lifter, man. I love that you talk the talk, but I think people forget like how dangerous and how steep that 83 and that 74 class is. Like, it's just, you guys are killers over there.
It's crazy. I just think like 83 is stacked in terms of like how they're all, you got Borsi, you got all them on the high 800s. But listen, bro, I'm trying to chase those numbers with 9 kilos less of body weight, maybe
Big
10
facts.
kilos less, and that's not a knock on them.
No.
But listen, bro, I'm pursuing perk because that's the harder thing to do. That's
Woo!
the
I'm telling
harder
you.
thing to
Well,
do.
let's be honest, because at this point, I think Jay-Z put it best when he said, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking past you. And I feel like people forget with Perk is, he's in a category of his own, right?
For
And
sure.
when you're in a category of your own, I always notice like, they like, oh, Perk, he's totaling more than so and so, he's totaling more than this. But Perk never says a thing about, oh, I'm gonna total more than the 83s. But
Now
he'll
he's
just go out
going
there.
at the 93s.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking past you. And oh yeah, while you guys are worried about me, you understand number two is doing the exact same thing. Perk laid the blueprint. You're like, you know what? I like that blueprint. Let me go ahead and do that too. I mean, 74s is cool, but I mean, I'm already putting up 83 plus numbers. Let me see if I can touch these 93s in a minute. And so that's really what you're at. Like, you guys are just, you happen to be the same beast in different skin. Y'all are just doing some insane stuff, and Perk just figured out his formula early because he started earlier. He figured out his formula. Now you're starting to figure out your formula. God knows what your number is going to be 3-4 years from now. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. Like, it's what the sport needs. You need 74s that are totaling what 93s are totaling, because then it's going to make us do this. It's going to make us look up. So far, for so long, we've been like, oh, these are respectable totals. These are huge, big totals. But now it's like, oh, wow, these totals are reaching the stratosphere. Because it's just strength is nutty right now. And you're literally one of the faces of like the nutty strength boys out there just doing crazy stuff. Like, is there, and I don't necessarily want to know the number, but is there a number or a total that you have in your head, like, when I hit this number, I'll officially feel like I'm as strong as I imagine I could be? Not saying it's going to be your final number, but is there a number that you're like, all right, when I hit this, I'll know I'm as strong as I've ever imagined I would be?
That's a good question, bro. Dude, I don't know. It's so hard for me to make like long-term goals. Bro, you're talking 3-4 years, right? Like, you know where I'm gonna be 3-4 years? It's gonna be my first year in the open
Yeah,
in 4 years. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
That's still the start of my career. That's where Joe Bornstein is right now. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And people talk how young he is. It's it's so hard. I just basically, if you want to, I won't name a number because you said don't name a number.
yeah.
When I beat Perk, when I not if when I beat Perk, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whenever it will be, because it will happen. It will happen. I'm not. I don't care when. It will. You can run. You can try and run to 83. I'll come right up after you. I'm not worried about these guys. Listen, I am centered. I am centered on him. Listen, someone's got to bring him back to worrying about somebody in his own weight class, okay?
Right.
Because Joe Borenstein isn't in his weight class, and he can't even make him worry about the 83s anymore because this dude's talking about trying to out total the 93 world record, right?
Facts.
Perk saying, I want to put up 920 Sheffield. Like, that's what he put. He said he
Yeah.
wants to total the 93 world record at Sheffield. Listen, somebody's got to wake this dude up and go like, hey, bro, you're a 74. There's people in your weight class.
Like,
If
worry
it's
about
not
me
going
too.
to,
Yeah.
if it's not gonna be anybody else, it's gonna be me. If you want to
Yeah.
listen, Joe's telling me backstage. He's telling me after the meeting, he's like, he's too good right now. You can't
Okay.
come into it with that mentality because then
Nah,
you
man.
lost. Because then you lost.
Right.
So for me, listen, bro.
No, I get it.
When I reach that point where I beat Perk, in my opinion, it just becomes a whole new universe of
Absolutely.
opportunity. Because now there's nothing keeping me from world. You think like if I beat Perk, who's stopping me at open worlds?
No one's stopping it. Like,
Who's
people,
stopping
no
me at
one's,
open worlds to weight class up?
no one is. That here's the thing. You'll end up, you'll be number one on everything. Literally everything. Perk is the gold standard. No, you know what? I can't even say that. I won't even say that. Perk is the diamond standard. There is no one better. There is no one better. And while I'll preface this by saying it might sound like Elliott's taking shots. I don't feel like you're taking shots. And this
No.
is all respect to the dude. He's the top of the totem pole. He's
That's
the
what I'm trying to say.
absolute top.
Exactly.
He's the apex predator in the wild. You've got to take down the apex predator in order to be the man. It just is what it is. Perk is Zeus. Like, it just is what it is. And I won't lie, dude. When that dude steps on the platform, I shut up. I'm like, let's go, dude. Do what you do. Like, you do what you do because you've earned this right. And here's the thing. When you look at his body of work, Perk's been doing this, dude. He has been doing this for a while. He's done it equipped. He's done it raw. If anybody that's ever going to be an unmentionable, Perk could end up being one of those. But we also have to take note that we've never before seen in a weight class two people that are just so far above everyone else. And it's not disrespecting anybody else because there's people that they're managing to kind of close the gap slowly but surely. But as soon as they close the gap, I feel like you guys look back like, oop, I don't like that. Let's go a little bit further. And then, but that's what the sport's about. Eventually, we're gonna get to a point where there's not gonna be a 74 that's in the top three that's not totaling 850. That's gonna be bare minimum. You're gonna have to total at least 850 to make podium or to make the top three in the 74s. You're gonna have to.
Me, that's like a year away. That's like a
Yeah.
year away.
If
That's
that,
like a
dude.
year
Here's
away.
like if that. I honestly feel like somebody's gonna pop that at a freaking local meet, dude.
Ilya, Balthazar, both of those guys, 850
Yep.
plus guys eventually. I don't know when, but eventually.
But it's coming.
Eventually.
It's
Like, not
coming.
that far in the future.
No.
Ilya just put up 822.5, and he was
Yep.
this close to putting up 842. This close. That
That
deadlift was
close.
this close. Like, and Balthazar literally was at 765 when I
Yeah.
beat him at Junior Worlds, and now he's at 800, and now he's,
Yeah. Like, so
rapping
it's gonna
crazy
be
stuff.
like 74 is literally we're gonna look back 2-3 years from now and look at like the 2026 2027 probably the 2027 2028 worlds. It's gonna be freaking 920 925 like it'll probably end like 930 920 865 850 848.
It's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
something.
crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane,
Um,
man. So
But
I
no,
think
man, this isn't me trying to take shots. Listen, like
no.
I love Joe Bornstein. I love all these guys.
Yeah,
But
man.
like this is me building up Perk, right?
Absolutely.
Because people need to realize, bro, this is not it's just such an enormous task.
It
And
really is.
I feel like people will be are like you get people commenting in my comment section, putting the gifs or gifs of Perk, however
Yeah.
you say it, of
Yeah.
Perk in there, saying, "Oh, well, he didn't beat Perk, he didn't beat this." I didn't beat Perk. I'm 19.
Yeah. Well,
It
my
don't
thing is
matter.
this.
It don't
Okay, he didn't beat
matter.
Perk. Well, here's my question.
Who
Who
else
has
did?
beat Perk? Who's beat Perk? The only
Yeah.
person to beat Perk is Perk, bro. Let's be 100. Like
I mean, like, it's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy. And
man.
then you think about, like, you got to think about, he's right. He out totaled Joe Bornstein's world record from a weight class below, right? Joe Bornstein's third in the world by GL. Third in the world by GL.
Yeah.
and he's out totaling him from a weight class below. That's not the same as like when Atwood out totaled Russell Orhe, almost out
Yeah.
totaled Russell Orhe from a weight class below.
Yeah.
Because Russell Orhe wasn't, at least as far as I know at the time, wasn't third in the world on GL.
Nah.
He was not.
Nah. Like
Joe Bornstein is a dog, and
he's an absolute dog.
but Perk is better. It's just I need people to understand, bro. Once I cross the reason I'm so dead set on this barrier, everyone tells me Elliot needs to stop taking shots at Perk. He's not gonna beat him. He's not gonna beat him. I know I can beat him. I know I can beat him. And when I do, the reason I'm so dead set on it is when I do, the entire powerlifting. I can go to Worlds. I can go to
Yeah.
Sheffield. I can't make that next step. I could be
No.
by far and away the second. I could total 910 at 74.
Yep.
If Perk puts up 912 and a half, I
It's a
can't go
wrap.
to open world. You know what
Like,
I mean?
I don't think, yeah, people
Like,
don't understand that Perk literally is the door that you have to walk through in order to get to the next level. And it's not a wooden door. That's an absolute steel, triple reinforced door. Like, you can't just get through it. I mean,
I have to
the
put up
only
the best
way, yeah,
powerlifting performance of all time to even
he's the
get
tip of the
a world
spear.
title.
Like, you like, to beat Perk, you're gonna have to, you literally have to make history to beat Perk. And I think you understand that. That's why you're so passionate about it. You understand the task that's ahead of you in order to do it. Because here's the thing: you can easily be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I don't even worry about this smoke because this guy is he's just that good. I'm just gonna go up a weight class, or I can go down a weight class and I could win that one. You're like, no, dude. In order for me to be the best, I have to beat the best. It's not just about going to Worlds. It's not just about beating people. It's about beating the best that ever did it. I get it, man. I'm telling you, I get it. I get it more than you understand. It's not about just winning. It's about being the best to ever do it. It's not about winning. It's about the fashion in which I win. If I'm going to win, I want to win against the best that's breathing right now. And I'm telling you right now, there's a man that sits in Austin, Texas, training at the Elliott facility by the name of Austin Perkins. That's the best breathing right now. The best breathing right now. And in order for you, Elliot, my friend, to be the man, you've got to be the man. And that's an awesome task. Not everyone's willing to take on that task. And you're like, you know what? Send me. I'll try. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. In order for me to do it, I got to fully commit it. And you're 100% committed to doing it. I totally get it. You know, and it's hard for people to see impossible tasks taken on because they've never done it before. And a lot of people don't dream that big. A lot of people don't set their goals that lofty. A lot of people just don't have it in them to push themselves to that point, whereas you do. You're just, you're thinking on another level. You're literally in 2020. You're in 2029 right now, bro. You're literally 2029, 2030 thinking about these are things I need to get done in order to make this happen. By the time I get to open, I need to be comparable, if not better than Austin Perkins. By the time I make it to the open, I need to be the best version of myself, if not better than everyone else. But in order for that to happen, I've got to put my ducks in a row. I get it, dude. Like, they don't get it because they don't dream it. But if you don't dream, you got to dream it first before you can achieve it, man. I mean, and, I think your head and your heart is set on something that no one really can comprehend having done. But here's the thing, that's the difference. Let's be honest. You're sitting where you're sitting because you dream big, you train hard, and you put up big numbers. But you also know what you're capable of. I can't tell you what you're capable of. I don't know what's in your heart. You know what's in your heart. You know what you're capable of. And a lot of people, God bless them, it's not that they don't root for you. I don't even think that they root against you. It's just inconceivable. Like, Austin Perkins,
Exactly.
This dude is larger than life. But here's the thing. I will counter it with saying this. There are people, a ton of people, mind you, that are below you, behind you. They're like, wait a minute, what? Elliot sent this me? Dude, Elliot? How am I going to beat him? The same thing that they're saying about Perk, they're starting to now say about you. How? He's not even 20 yet. This dude can't even buy a drink. Wait, what? No, he's totaling what? He's trending at what? Oh, no. So when Perk decide he's done, then we're stuck with Elliot? Oh, no. Like, you are a dangerous man, dude. And I think a lot of it, they can't fathom someone beating Perk because Perk is really, he's the tip of the spear. But also, it's the fact that they thought that they were going to get a break.
Was gonna get.
Yeah, they thought we were gonna get a break. Like, we don't have another demigod going to lift. Oh, actually, we have another one. Like, wait, what? So it's a great thing, dude. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that you have this belief in yourself. It's a blessing that you have this strength. It's a blessing that you have this work ethic. It's a blessing that you have a camp of people behind you. But it's also a curse because sometimes you're the only person. You're the only person in a room that believes in what you can do. And that part gets lonely, bro. I'm telling you, it's a lonely road sometimes when the only person that believes in yourself. And if family's gonna believe in you, friends, they're gonna believe in you. But here's the thing, they automatically believe in you. They're gonna
For
believe in you
sure.
no matter what, dude. You could go out and total 75 kg and like they'll say that was the most beautiful performance I've ever seen. I know you went through everything. You know, you had a rough go at it. You know what? But you went out there and you performed. We love you. They're gonna love you regardless. But those outsiders that just don't know what it's like to really shoot for something. There's one thing to shoot for the stars, but there's another thing to really take your aim at the sun. And right now, my friend, you've taken your aim at the sun, and that's awesome. But only you know how to get there. Only you know how it feels. Only you know what's in your gut, and only you know in your heart how and what I'm going to do in order to make that happen. And that's the blessing and curse of being a lonely dreamer, dude. You've dreamed a dream that is really, really hard to conceive for other people, but you know in your heart that it's something that's accomplishable, you know. And so the only other person that you're gonna have to make believe that is gonna be Perk when you guys line up, you know, and that's it. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to keep aiming at the king until you get time with the king, you know, and eventually, you know, your paths will cross and you'll get your shot. You know what I mean? But
Open
like they
nationals
say,
next year, bro. It's mandated now.
listen, like I said, I'll say this a million times. When you get your shot, you best not miss. You can't miss. Because you already know that they're already ready. They're going to be preloaded with trash to talk and all that stuff. And here's the
Oh
thing.
yeah.
It might be, I guys have been there. I've been there. It might not be the first time. You might miss the first time. You might miss the second time. You might miss the third. You might miss the fourth. It might be the fifth time you take your shot. Like, I finally got it. But I guarantee you this. Each shot you take, the bar's going to raise.
Oh yeah. Well, because he's gonna see he's that much closer. Oh,
Yeah, the bar's gonna keep raising. You're like, oh, and you're like, wait, not so fast, you know. And so I think that's the cool part, man. I try not to talk too much of these things, man, but I kind of get hyped, dude. Especially when you talk to lifters
You're
that
good,
just have that
bro.
passion. I'm feeding off of you right now. I think that's the beautiful thing about this sport is that you have people in the sport like yourself that just push it and push it and push it, and then you look back and like, dude, this guy's pushed this thing into the stratosphere. We didn't think powerlifting would ever get to this point, you know, and at least in my lifetime, I didn't think it would ever really get this popular and we get this many strong people. Like, you know, when I was doing it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I was competing open, you know, we'd have maybe the top three. That was it. But now it's like, you go six deep and anybody can win.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
What are the
really, really,
66s?
yeah. So it's, you know, I know it's gonna get crazy when the 59s start getting deep. When the 59s get deep, I realize that now we are
deep.
they're deep. But I'm talking okay. Let me rephrase that.
Go ahead.
Internationally, we are deep. Like all weight classes are deep. But I
We
always
just
I
talking
always kind
about
of
the U.S.
I'm just talking about like when you go to nationals and every one of those categories is stacked, then I know like, all right, we're in a different era. We're in a totally different era. Right now, you go to Nats and we're about if all the big dogs show up, we're the 120 pluses, they got to get a little bit deeper. The 120s, they got to get just a couple people deeper. 105s is completely deep. 93s completely deep. 83s,
83s.
they're deep. 74s, it's starting to get there.
It's getting there.
You're about three people away from being probably the pound for pound deepest class. 66s have been stacking, dude.
Well, think about, bro, 7-10 from the open session. You got someone from the open session
Yep.
losing on body weight.
Body weight.
If you want to talk about deep, that's deep.
The
That's
66s
deep.
are deep.
Winning from the open session.
No.
Ain't
And
nobody.
And then the 59s, we got about two on the 59s, and we're like three short from the. But when we get to the point where you're 5 and 6 deep on each class, then I know like, all right, we're exactly where we need to be, man.
It's exciting.
And it used to be that way back in the USAPL days. We were really like that. But I just it's just exciting. I think for me, obviously you can tell my excitement. It's just exciting to see where the sport's going. I'll ask you a few more questions and we'll get the standards, man. We'll get you out of here, man, because I don't want to
Yeah,
take up
bro.
too much more of your time. I can talk this all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so rising tide. Our sights are set on that, and then we have a nice little off season,
6 months. 6 months.
and then nationals rolls up.
So much.
I don't need a number, but I kind of want to. I don't want a number, but give me an idea. What are we thinking about squats? Ballpark. I don't want anything specific. I don't want people to even know anywhere close to how the sausage is made. And deadlift. I'm more excited about the deadlift because I've seen that thing doing this. It's just tick 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 tick.
I'm glad you see that, bro, because I heard someone on the other day say, look, the gap on deadlift is just so big. I was like, you're worried about the deadlift, bro? You're worried about the deadlift? I'm pretty amped about the deadlift, bro, because
No.
I haven't even been, listen, until now, like, I won't give you a number. I won't give you an analogy. I'll give you how my deadlift training has been going while I've been progressing.
Perfect, perfect.
For the last years, my grip, technique, whatever it was, there was something holding me back on deadlift. Constantly.
Right.
Okay. Even this prep. Okay. Nationals. I literally was dropping every single deadlift over 290 up until the peak. Not this nationals,
Last
last
nationals.
junior age division nationals. And then I bam, boom, 690. Huge deadlift P, 12 and a half kilo deadlift
Yeah.
PR. Okay. Then this nationals. Listen, my entire first block of sumo deadlifts, I dropped almost everything. I got little to no training in until week 5, last week of the block.
What?
Yeah. Then we go into the next block. My first week goes okay. My second week goes great. Third week, I traveled to Peru to see my girlfriend. Went crazy. Like, was not great. Was not a good session. Like, I took like a 7.5 kilo jump, and all of a sudden it's like RPE 10 million. Then I retake the weight, moves a little better. Then I take 287 and a half. So that was 282 and a half, 2 weeks in a row. Then I take 287 and a half, moves like butter. So this whole time I've been trending. And every so often, I'm having like consistent baseline, like 280s, 290s for the
Yeah.
rep work. And then all of a sudden, there's a pop
Yeah.
that shows me it's like, you have the strength for something nutty. You just need to get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm grind. I get to in the singles every single until one block out from a peak. The block out from a peak, I hadn't taken even 300 kilos on deadlifts for a single.
Ooh.
290, 295, moving slow. I'm like, man, I'm just trusting the process. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I get into the block before the peak. Okay, stuff is moving.
Yeah.
Then I hit 300. Man, that was hard. I have to retake it. Okay, it was smooth. Not the best I've moved, but it's
Right.
smooth. Then I get to the peak. It's different. And all I needed for a 20 kilo deadlift PR, one meet, 312 and a half to 332 and a half in one meet. Okay. All I needed was a nice little 310 pull to end the singles off, 332 and a half. There. What happens? This wasn't even good training. You heard how chaotic that is. Now I've got my grip down.
Ooh.
Now I've got my technique for my back downs down. Now I know how to peek into the meat. Now I've tested it. Now I've really tested it. Upper limits,
got your
332 and a half. Now I've got my exactly. Now I've got my data. So you thought this was like the big breakout meet. This was the test run. This was, let's see. This was me trying to jump from 815 to 892 in one meet. I didn't succeed. Would most people?
Nah.
Now I've got the data. Now I've got I squatted 290 for 5. I deadlifted 287 and a half for 5. Easy. None of this was RPE 10. This was like RPE 8 at most. I benched 210. I benched 210 in training.
Ooh.
My strength skyrocketed. I added 22 and a half kilos on my bench in training alone. Okay.
Jesus.
I didn't bring it to the meet this time. And I still put up 852.5. I still put up.
Nice.
If we go even 6 months back from that meet, before October, Advances Houston, that's the best 74 total of all time. That's the best pound for pound total of all time. Best drug tested
man.
pound for pound total of all time. And that's my first go at it. Now I get a whole Rising Tide. I get a whole nother 6 months to rerun that rerun that cycle, perfect it,
Perfect it.
bring it
Yeah.
into the meet. And so not only do I get to bring that into the meet, I get a whole nother 6 months to build on top of that. That strength doesn't just disappear, you know?
No,
It's
man.
not like I just bench 210 and then it's gone. That's still
No,
there,
no.
man. You best
You got yeah.
believe that's
It's
still
easy. Yeah,
there.
it's easier to get back to where you were than to reacquire. Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, you're sitting pretty, man. God dang, you're sitting pretty. You got me hyped.
Exactly.
I literally
Exactly.
have bench. I have bench tonight. I might have to. I got to get right.
So
God.
So I get to rerun that. Even if I don't PR the list, even if I only PR by 5 kilos, right? I was PRing all my rep work by like 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
kilos. Okay. If I just rerun that same thing, come in fresher, come in ready,
Oof, sitting pretty, man. That's a
you get
nasty
you
total.
get you get that's double the stimulus, okay? I'm taking the same rep work that I did at the beginning of last off season with ascending sets with one less block of momentum. I've got bro,
So you're a little
what
fresher.
is I'm fresher. What is coming? I cannot say number wise,
I mean, if listen, I'm
but
gonna be honest. If that's not 900 plus, then I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I'm saying.
the craziest part, it don't even need to be because after this 6 months, I got another seven. I got another 7 months after Rising Tide. I got from the same time frame I did, and then I
Yep.
got it again. So I
Yep.
get so
You
I
get
get
to
to run
double.
it again
You get to double
and
your
again.
pleasure. Matter of
Exactly.
fact, I mean, because it would be you would have like a six meet, and then a seven, right? That's that right? You'd have 7 months after rising, right?
Like 6 or 7. Yeah.
So you could literally
Yeah, dude. I
in,
get to
in
run the
fact you
whole
can
entire
actually
offseason.
after rising you can give yourself a legitimate break, like a vacay style break. Mental clarity, physical clarity, go in, get a good solid block, take another break, and then decide whether or not you can do like a mini block and then peak. But the thing is, you'd have a chance for two legitimate off periods. You would have a legitimate off season.
So much time. It's
That's
so much
so
time.
much time. And I think people, I need you guys to listen. I'm put on my coaching hat for just a sec, guys. I need you to hear me and hear me well. While you're gonna grind and you're gonna make a lot of gains grinding. I mean, let's be honest. That's really where you put your body through the fire. That's where you beat yourself and you beat yourself and you beat yourself. But the gains, the strength, the acquisition of strength, the healing and all that happens during the break time, baby. That happens during your recovery time. That's why it's called recovery. A lot of
And
you guys aren't making the gains that you want to be making. A lot of you guys and girls are not getting the strength that you really want to get because you refuse to actually take a break. You refuse to actually recover. You refuse to take recovery as well, as serious as you take lifting. I love that you lift heavy. I love that. I love that for you. I love that for all of us. But you need to also recover just as heavy as you lift. And that's where a lot of you guys miss out. I don't know if you've noticed, but not only are we talking about him being able to get these blocks in, not only are we talking about him having time, but we're also talking about the recovery. He's able to recover. The difference between a good lifter and a great lifter versus the greatest of lifters is they take their recovery time as serious as they take everything else. That means your back offs. It's not necessarily time to really back off. It's actually time to focus in on the technique. So while you're not lifting as heavy, your concentration on the technique needs to be locked in even more so than it is on your top sets. Let's be 100 real quick. Let me talk my talk real quick. Now, at the same time, let's be honest. When it comes time for your recovery, are you really actually recovering? Are you working your mobility? Are you working on, I don't know, let's say, are you hitting that chiropractor? Are you working on the little things like your nutrition? Well, it's such a little thing, has such a big effect. Are you actually sleeping? All these things we're talking about, let's be honest, man, a lot of us neglect it. And so it shows up when it comes time to show up. It shows up for him. Look at his numbers. They'll do all the talking. And you can say all the stuff about, oh, he's young, he recovers. This is very true. But let's be honest, he also has to get that sleep in. The thing that I want to make sure we point out before we keep going is one of the things he said early was he stopped doing all the stuff that he was doing early on. He started actually having better habits. He got stopped hanging out with the wrong crowd, if so to speak. He got with a decent community. That means a lot. So your externals are just as important as your internals. I don't mean a soapbox, but like I feel like a lot of times we listen to these podcasts, we see these champions, and a lot of times you hear a lot of the same things talking about. I had to get myself under control. I had to be disciplined about the things that I was doing. I had to be smarter about the moves that I was making, and it correlated to me having better output. That's across the board. That's an easy correlation. You do better because you know better. If you know better, you do better. If you do better, you have better output. Here's the thing: it may not necessarily translate to, oh, I'm like Elliot, and I'm gaining 60 kg here and there. I mean, let's just be honest, that's world class regardless. But it could translate to, what, I had a way better training session than I did before. You know what? I locked in my drop sets, and I really had a good time with those. Like, here's the thing: I'm at a point now, and Elliot, I definitely want you to chime in on this. I'm at a point now where I'm more proud of myself from my work sets, my drop sets, than I am my top set. My top set, I feel like it's just me peacocking. I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally feel like I'm just peacocking for my top set because I don't know that I've ever had a top set that I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get this. Like, I always feel like my top set is just me showing off to myself, and then my work sets, those are really the ones I'm like, all right, now we gotta grind, because those are the ones you really don't want to do, because the adrenaline dump has happened. Like, the adrenaline is gone, baby. And so you have nothing left but your technique to get you through. And I'll be honest, anytime I've ever had any type of injury, it's been on my drop sets. It's never been on my top set. Never. Like, if you look at a lot of us that have gotten injuries, look and see where you've gotten most of your injuries. It's never really with your top set. Usually with your top set, you're just a little bit more safe. You'll have a few more spotters. You'll have a little bit more concentration, but it's those drop sets, those working sets, for some reason, you're like, it's okay. It's 100 pounds less, crack, and then you're done. So yeah, I like where you're at. I like where your head's at as far as just you have a plan, and it sounds like a really good plan. Me, I'm being a hater because I'm gonna be pissed if it's not over 900. I know that. I mean, it'll be close. It better be close. Let me tell you. You have your aim at Perk. I have my aim at you now. I'm like, all right, whatever he's told him, I got to total now. I got a total now, and I'm sitting here like mad at myself, like, oh man, like I think my last like decent total was like 865. That's the last. I had an 881. I had a couple of those. I'm like, man, dude. But here I'm in my garage, totally damn near 950, 960. But then like I can't do it like, listen, I don't want to be a gym All American, and right now in my garage I'm a garage All American. I'll total something nutty in my garage. But but I can't. I need to make it count here. Elliot is like, he's already totaled more than both my world championships, both of them. That must be nice. So, but I like where your head's at. I like that you have a plan going into this. I like that that you're not necessarily married to any number in particular. I think the thing that I'm most excited about is really is your approach to it all. I feel like you had a semblance of a plan going into last year. I feel like this year going into next year, I just feel like you have more of a plan. It sounds like you really got it laid out, like almost a backward calendar, so to speak.
It's just so much less unknown territory, right? Like
Absolutely.
when you're trying to jump from 312.5 to like a 350 plus deadlift, like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Like that's not what I was shooting for, but you get what I'm
Right.
saying. Like that's
Yeah.
the type of numbers you got to hit. Like if you're trying to go from low 800s to near 900, that's a
Yep.
huge jump. That jump, I get to jump from 850, get that in between meet,
Yeah.
jump into that high
Mm-hmm.
800s, maybe
Yep.
even the gamble with the nines. We'll see.
Yeah.
But if I get an in between meet, gather more data, and then I get to
Absolutely.
take it all in. I get to set myself up
Really?
perfectly
Yeah.
for that next performance. And like
Absolutely.
even if I don't PR crazy on every single lift like I usually do, I don't need to, because that's
Nah.
not what training is about. You
Yeah.
don't need the PR. You don't need the PR. Listen, my squat from junior nationals to junior worlds, I hit exactly one PR. One.
Yep.
One, and it was a like 5 or 10 kilo PR
Yeah.
on squats, on like squat sixes that I hadn't done for
Yeah.
in forever, you know.
Yeah.
And then I took the exact same weight for my fours, and then I got into my singles. I started at the same places I did nationals, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm just gonna squat 305 again. Then I went out there, Got to my week 4 single. I squatted 300. Flew. Got on that platform, squatted 315. Man, we thought we had the open world record on that. We thought we had 325. We thought we had 325 on that day. That's a 20-kilo jump.
Yeah,
And from one
one
PR, from
PR.
from a rep range that I hadn't done in ages that probably didn't even really mean a lot.
Right.
Like, you just getting that stimulus and getting that training, it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't
Nah.
know the difference between 290 and 295.
Nope.
It's weight. It's heavy
It's
weight.
just the
You think
weight,
10
yeah, and
pounds
it's
is gonna
locking
make or
in.
break you?
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Talk the talk. I swear, I feel like people think I'm speaking in a different language. Like, you know what, man? As long as your body gets that time under tension, as long as your body gets an opportunity to lift some weight, as long as your CNS gets taxed ever so slightly, it gives you a chance to get better. The problem is people get so married to a specific number. That number is not going to save you. It's the effort behind that number that's going to save you. Because I mean, like, you might not have 290 today. You might only have 265. And you know what? You lock in on that 265, your body is taxed. That 265 is damn near going to feel like 305. You're just taxed. Your body's beat up. But you're focused on the technique. And so, dude, I've won a world. Listen, I've won a world championship off of going nothing more than 86% in my training block. I did nothing more than 86% in any of my lifts in that whole training block, and I won a world championship off of it. Yeah, I was hurting that whole block. The most I could get out of my body was 86% of my 1RM, and that's all I had. That's all I had.
But
I
you
gave
don't need
every
no more than that.
Nah, man. And then when we got there, shit, we did exactly what we needed to win. At the end of the day, it's about putting your body under the stress, coming out alive and healthy. If all you have in you is, skeleton, if all you got is a 6 in you, then that's it. All you have is that 6. You give that 6 everything you have. I promise you. If you don't hear me say anything else, I promise you, if you give the same effort with that 6 that you do with that 10, you're going to come out all right, man. I promise you. Because you're going to come out getting something. I did it last night. I literally did this last night. I knew I didn't have everything in me last night. Last night was supposed to be a pretty decent little squat night. Last night we were supposed to be doubling 300 keys. We did not have 300 keys in us. We had 620 pounds. We had 280 in us. That's all we had for a double. I gave that all I had. And then when it came down for the work sets, we had a lovely 230. That 230 felt heavier than 280. Like, those fours were killing me, but I promise you this, when I got done, I felt like I was the strongest man on the planet, man. And it's weird because I know it's all light work, all that stuff, literally everything it was supposed to be RPE 6 and below. And normally it's an RPE 6 and below. But last night it was about RPE 1000. But we took what we had and we made it work. And I think, even with the people that I coach, and I'm sure with the people that you coach, sometimes you got to almost talk them off the ledge like, hey, I know you don't have everything in you right now. Just give me what you got. If you don't have your RPE 8.5, if your 8.5 feels like a 9.5, that's fine. Let's go ahead and drop it down to a 6. That's fine. Let's take what we have. I know that you want to squat 300 keys tonight. I know it's in you, man. I know you've done it a million times before, but you know what? You got a lot of stressors going on. You got a lot of this and that and the third. School might be crazy. Family might be crazy. Work might be crazy. Whatever it is, but your externals are affecting your performance. So you know what? We're not going to go 300 keys today. We're going to go 250. But we're going to really focus on the technique with this 250 and make sure that we're good with that. And I understand that you want to do this single. I get it. I get it. That 300 key single is it's one of the most fun singles you could ever take. But I feel like this 250 single, we're going to get just as much out of that as anything else because you don't have 300 in you. And I wouldn't be the coach that you want me to be. I wouldn't be the coach that you pay me to be. I wouldn't be the coach that you trusted me to be if I'm like, yeah, go ahead and take 300. Let's see if we can roll it. Let's roll the dice with your life. That's dumb. So
It comes down to, would you rather hit 300 in the gym when no one's watching, or would you rather hit it on the platform?
let's talk about it. And then on all honesty, you might end up going 305 and 315 when everyone's watching. So, I'm telling you, man, like, listen, I love this kid. Y'all don't understand, man. I understand. I think Gavin, I know you're going to be listening at some point. If you're listening right now, I'm going to steal this dude from you. I'm telling you right now, I love this dude. I am glad that he gave me the lob, man, because your thought process, your work ethic is it's refreshing. You get it, which is awesome. And not to say that no other people don't have it. I like your approach to it. I want to talk about your coaching a little bit, man, because I know you coach people. And
Mhm.
it would be irresponsible of me to have such a great lifter that's also a great coach and not be able to talk about your coaching, man. So when did you decide? You know what? I want to start coaching people. I want to start making a difference.
So I've actually been coaching people, not a ton. Like I have under 10 lifters right now. I try because I got school, I
Yep.
got work, I got my
Yep.
lifting. So I maintain as many people as I can while delivering as good of a if the quality drops, you got to drop a client. Like I can't be
Wait. Time
delivering
out. Time
less
out.
than my
Time out.
best.
Say that again. Please say that again.
If the quality drops, I gotta drop a client because I cannot be delivering less than my best to any of them. Because
Oh,
they're
wait a
trusting you,
minute.
bro.
Wait a minute. This dude just dropped a gem. I need you to say it one more time for the people in the back.
One more time. If my quality drops, you gotta drop a client.
Let's
I
go.
can't deliver anything less than my best. But seriously, man, I've been coaching on it. It's funny because I'm basically 20 now. I've been coaching since I was like 16 years old.
Awesome.
Just classmates, people online for free, whether they just wanted to do bench, whether they wanted to
Right.
do a local meet and then quit, get it for their college resume or something,
Right.
like stuff like that. And I've just been doing it and doing it and getting my time in trying different methods. Now I'm with RTS, so that's where how my coaching is like mainly based and how I mainly conduct it. Like the static RPE method, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. I do a lot of that. Yeah, I have an athlete competing in literally like 6 weeks now. She's competing at age division nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love it. It's so fun thinking about the training, and I spend so much time thinking about my own training that like almost to an extent, bro, I need to think about someone else's training so I don't drive myself crazy thinking about my.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, man, I love it. I love it. Just problem solving, figuring it out. And it helps me being a better athlete as well.
It
Because
really
seriously,
does. It really does.
you get to look at almost like the own decisions you make, right? Like you put in your like how many times I had my athlete ask me like, should I be pushing my accessories to the limit or should I just hit the RPE? What do you think, bro? What
Like
what
I
do
think
you
you
know what I
already
mean?
know the answer.
Like
Yeah.
I put the RPE in there for the reason.
Yeah.
And then you think about like, wait, why do I have that same question sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Like you think back on that, it's like, wait, so I should just be hitting you. It gives you like sometimes the things I say make me realize that I'm still a junior lifter.
So it's self reflective in a lot of ways. I mean, because you really
Exactly.
do. I've noticed a lot. I mean, in all the clients that I have, man. I mean, love all you, by the way. I notice I have some that I feel like I'm talking to myself, and I have some that I'm like, I wish I was as compliant and as trusting as they are. Like
Literally.
you know, the thing that always gets me, especially in me, because my coaches also are, is I'll see it.
Who's your coach?
Ross Lepla.
Michael. Oh, I love him. Oh, he's such a
So
nice dude.
he really, really is, man. And every now and then, like Michael, I get Mike T. He'll dabble in myself, make sure everything's copacetic. So I kind of get two coaches. I've been with RTS for the longest.
Yeah.
I think I'll see the worksheet or the website rather, and I'll look and I'm like, okay, this RP, all right, I'm good with that. I'll see the drops, like, all right, I'm good with that, and oh man, I'll have a good top set. We're good. Then I'll go down to my back downs, and I'll still be feeling good. For some reason, I'll have like, especially when you're like, oh, this is gonna be a PR. Oh man, so you got to get hyped for that first one, and just okay, maybe I'll juice it just a little bit. Maybe I'll just juice it just a little bit. So I had to start really, but I found myself telling my people like, hey, just stick with the prescribed. If anything, you push that top set, go ahead and get that. But with these working sets, I really want us to stay locked in on those. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of buffer. I'll let you go crazy a little bit. But I also want us to make sure that we're trending this way, that we keep that trend going, because it's, obviously strength's not a linear thing, and we're going to have those peaks and those valleys, but we want to make sure no matter what, we just keep trending upwards. So I've noticed that, as I'm talking to them, I'm like, wait a minute, why don't I do the same thing? I need to start doing the same thing. And it's really one of those things, kind of like you say, it's really self-reflective, because you're like, all right, while I love coaching these people, I also need to be coaching myself to be a better and more coachable athlete. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you end up just being so much more successful. It's way easier. I feel like it's way easier being a coach that gets coached by someone else because it really helps you realize like how much better of a coach you can be. Because I mean, listen, if you know anything about RTS, it is not for the weak. Number one, it is not for the squeamish. Number two, there's a string of world champions all up and down the halls of RTS. The one thing you gotta understand when when you're in that reactive training systems is you've got to be honest with yourself. Honesty is it. If you're not an honest lifter, it is not the place to be at. And here's
There
the
is
thing, you'll know exactly what I'm saying with this next one. Once you start becoming a more honest lifter, you start expecting more honesty from your lifters that you coach. And so it makes you a better coach. It makes you a more patient coach, but it also makes you a coach that you start dissecting a lot more than you did before because it's such a highly educated based type of training. And I mean there's a lot of skill to it, but I don't know that anyone that's ever been coached by RTS coaches and that coach their own lifters don't become better coaches as a result because it's just you get educated second to none, and and you learn why they don't hesitate to tell you why.
exactly. Well, because the thing is, I feel like there's some coaching systems, right, where you can go into it and you cannot have a clue what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, why you're doing it, and it'll be out fine. You just go in and you do it. I have
Yeah,
an RP6, but maybe I hit an RP7, but it's okay because
yeah.
it's still not going to be that fatiguing. But when you got an RP every single week, if you really hit an RP9, you're going to be cooked before you even get to
You're
the end of
cooked.
the
You're not
block.
gonna make it
You're
to
going
the
to get to
end.
the
You're
end
not
of the
gonna
block.
make it to the end of the block.
You
Like
need to understand what you are doing so much. And I
so,
think it
yeah.
just
It's not.
elevates
Yeah,
you.
it really does. Like you can't. You almost live by this code of I'd rather undershoot than overshoot. If
Literally
you
me.
overshoot, if you overshoot, you are cooked. I repeat, you are cooked in the RTS training system if you overshoot. Now, granted, every coach there is next to none. They are the best in the world. They will figure out a way to adjust for you. They will adjust
For
for you.
sure.
Understand that. But you've made it that much more difficult for yourself in the long run because you know what you're getting. You know that, at the end of the day, if I'm honest with myself, I might, if anything, I'm going to damn near undershoot week 1 and week 2. So I make sure I'm good for week 3. And if week 3 feels good, then I might act a donkey on week 4. But I want to be able to make it to that pivot week knowing that I did something. If I can't make it to the pivot because I'm cooked and I have to ask for a pivot like a week early, I know that I did myself a disservice. And I've done it a few times. I've done it enough that I've embarrassed myself. And so I I say this to say that, when you're an RTS athlete and you have that opportunity to coach other people, you by the grace of God are given so many tools to be a better coach, to be a better athlete, and it really just helps. It helps all your people. And I was, my coaching, my way of coaching that I'd been doing prior to even being on RTS it was similar, but it wasn't near as similar. And so, but I did a lot of program and pray, like, oh, I hope they really get it, and I learned data collection. I learned really how to watch how the data really speaks to you. I mean, because there you can educate yourself. I highly advise anybody. Listen, if you're looking for a coach, you got two of them talking to you right now. But if you're looking for ways of educating yourself as a lifter, you go to Reactive Training Systems, go to their website. There are tons and tons of tools that you can use to make yourself better, that you can use to educate yourself. The same thing with the strength athlete. Dude, they've got a lot of free stuff that can help you become a better coach. Like there's a lot of systems out there that they give out a lot of free literature, a lot of free game for a lot of people to help them use those things. They're there for a reason. There's tools out there to be used with and again, I guess leaning back into your coaching, it is it something that you're wanting to eventually do like a kind of full time, or is it something like I just really like doing it? It's fun. I have my own career in mind already, or is it one of those things like I'd like to see how far I can push this?
I guess I'm still at the beginning, sort of. I
Yeah,
wanna gather more experience, more athletes before I really make my decision.
yeah,
Like, Is it something I would love to do? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I gotta see, how good am I really? Because some people just different level. Like not
Yeah,
everyone's gonna be Marcellus or Mike T, right?
right. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I need to before I like commit to that or really chase that. I got to see, am I able to push this or am I really
Right.
just an athlete? It's always going to be something I do because I think it's just good to have. It's good to do.
Right.
Gives you perspective, right? Like I mean, I was literally telling my lifter the other day and mid conversation, low key, like while we're talking about this, I
Yeah.
literally realized this to myself. I was like, "Hey, man, I know you set this goal number on bench, but." Do we need this number? Do we need it? We're in volume phase right now. Do we need
Yeah.
this number? Like this gives you an E1RM that would be like a 15, 20 kilo PR onto
Yeah.
your bench. Do we need that level in the volume phase? Like, not
No.
really. And then I'm
No.
thinking, I'm like, wait,
Wait.
do
Am
I
I talking?
need this on bench?
Yeah. No, dude. You were preaching to the choir. That was me last night. Like, do I need to push this as much? I don't have it in me. Am I just married to this number because it looks pretty on paper, or am I really trying to get something out of this? Because it looks pretty on paper, and I know that I'm gonna fill the sheet in and turn it in, and I don't want Ross to be like, dude, what? You know what I mean? So like, but I know that feeling. Like I totally get that, man. Like, and again, I mean, you're early in it, so I mean, you still have time to decide. Like, is this something I really want to do? But I think the thing that you have in your back pocket is the fact that you are young, and you're able to kind of do this as you go, and really as you grow. So as you grow as a lifter, you can grow as a coach, and I mean, you could be one of those few, that are really, on that Mike T level to where I'm a world class lifter on both raw and equipped, and I've been a world games athlete and I've won everything that you can win, but I'm also one of the greatest coaches breathing. There's very few. I honestly, when I think about it, I don't know that there's anybody else that's
Nah.
an active world class and still one of the best in the game. Like Mike might be the only person I know that has a resume he has as a lifter and also as a coach. And that's honestly that's what I aspire to be. I'm like, I got a lot of accolades on the lifting end, but man, I got some NAPF champions, man. I'm still chasing that world champion. No, I got a sub junior world champion. I have a sub junior world
Yeah.
champion. Yeah, I got a sub junior world champion, little tyke, little girl. But I mean, I'm trying to add some more dogs to it, man. So and I'm hoping that in a month and a half I'll have a couple of bench world champions, come back. So we'll see, buddy. We'll see. But that's awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm excited that you get an opportunity to imprint on people, to impact people, because like you really are just you're a special person, man, and you're doing some special stuff. I'll shut my mouth and I'll give you these 3 questions, and we'll get you out of here, boss.
Okay, 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 okay.
All right, we're ready. So everyone knows how I do with the 3 standard questions. We've heard all kind of good stuff. We heard crazy stuff from everyone. So we expect it to be no different from this one. First question. If you were stuck on a deserted island, what are 3 things you would bring with you?
All right, all right. I gotta bring a friend. Am I allowed to bring a friend? Am I
You can
allowed to
bring
bring a
whatever you
friend?
want.
I
There's
got
no
I
rules to
gotta bring
this.
a friend.
Smart.
You're in it with me, keep myself sane. I
Absolutely.
gotta bring a signal flare. All right.
Signal for okay.
Okay. Then I need to bring some music, bro. If I
Yes,
have to be
yeah.
on an island without some music, I will lose my mind.
Dude,
Listen, I
that's what
got these
yeah.
AirPods in right now. They're in when I'm in the car, on the train, because I take the train to my
Yeah.
gym. Wherever I go, I'm listening to music. I need
Absolutely.
that. I need that.
Absolutely. I
So
think I
that's
think
my
uh
3 things.
I think IPF Sentinel. What he said? Sentinel said a big. I think he's like I have all my playlists and a speaker, and I'm like yeah. I mean I guess if I could put all my playlist on like one like box and just play it on like a Bluetooth speaker, I think I'd be good because that's at least. I think literally on my phone right now I probably have like at least 12 days, at least 12 straight days of just music. Just I have
That's
so much music on
insane.
this thing.
Wow.
Like I literally bought the most that I could get, and then I bought extra, extra storage so that I could put more music on. So yeah, my phone's just a walking jukebox. My playlists have
That's
playlists.
sick.
Okay, so friend, flair, music for your deserted island. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so for people four influential people for you. Who are four people on your Mount Rushmore? Like I said, it could be lifting, it could be life, it could be whatever combination.
So are we doing people who've influenced me or just people like who I think is the Mount
You, just for
Rushmore
you.
path?
Yeah. You know what?
Just
We
for
can do this.
me.
We can have. I'll give you two Rushmores. I'll give you one that'll influence you and one for the other. How about that? You can have
Okay,
two
okay, okay,
Rushmores.
okay. Okay, okay. People who've influenced me. All right. I mean, I gotta name my coach. Okay. He has been Adam Jones. He's been so patient with me
He's the
throughout throughout years, man. Probably because he has kids of his own, so
yeah
he was kind of like he's got that patience built
yeah
in him. You know,
awesome guy.
I feel like there's so many. This is gonna sound bad on my part. I feel like there's so many coaches who would drop me early on. They're like, this is just another kid with a lot of talent who's just
Yeah
not locked in like he should be. You know,
yeah.
but he had faith in me that I would pull it through eventually. He saw, what do they say, the tree through the woods or the forest? No, I
Treat the
forget what the
forest
phrase is. Yeah, tree through the forest. And he did not give up on me. And then here I am. So
on the cusp of
he's number one.
absolutely.
Great. And hopefully, man. So he's gotta be on there. I gotta put my dad on there.
Absolutely.
He has put up with so much in my all of my life. I mean, he's my number one biggest sponsor. Helps me travel wherever I go. Helps me stay mentally dialed. He's been a large part of like the mental evolution I've had this last year, where I've just become a whole different person.
Yeah.
So I gotta thank him. I think this one might be unexpected. Will Ball is on my influential person list for my Mount Rushmore. Okay, so what Will Ball
Big
did for
ball.
me, he was the person I watched that finally like because there was a while where like, man, he's progressing and I feel like I'm stuck, because this was after my like that worst meet where I did
Yeah
766 and I had that meet where like I went like almost bombed out on dads, didn't perform
yeah
on bench, didn't perform on squat, it was just not a great meet. I was looking, I was like, what is he doing different? And like that's what really got me in that mentality of like, okay, I need to be honest with my RPs. I need to be
yeah
in pocket, in pocket, in pocket.
yeah
And then also he like convinced me to do open nationals because when I watched that 920 performance he had at Origins, I was like, and I saw like that emotion that he had when he made that pool and he broke that, unofficial world
yeah
record for the 93s. I was like, I need that feeling. I
yeah.
need that. So that convinced me to do. I was like, after that, I have to do open nationals. I have to do open nationals.
That's awesome, man.
So he's on that. So that's three people.
Yeah.
Number four. Who's my number four influential person list? Man, let
So
me think.
why you think I'll give you guys a recap. Number one, coach. Number two, dad. Number three, Mr. Ball till you fall. Number four, who we
Number
got?
four. Man, it's gotta be
Before
my
we,
mom, man. It's gotta be
oh
my
yeah,
mom.
oh yeah,
She
yeah,
keeps
man.
me she
You know,
keeps me
no,
emotionally centered. She keeps me
yeah,
emotionally centered. My dad keeps me mentally locked. Will got me in dial with my training. Adam really showed me the way with that.
right,
Will Adam influenced me from a coaching perspective. Will influenced me from an athlete perspective. My dad coached my mentality in terms how I approach, competition as an athlete. And then my mom kind of approached me from an emotional standpoint, how I handle myself off the platform, And I feel like the kindness she shows me and others, and like just the way she conducts herself, she's just a nice person. She's a bubbly
yeah,
person. She's a very bubbly person,
yeah,
very sociable, and that I feel like has rubbed off. Just my parents in general have rubbed off on
right,
me, and just the greatest of ways, and how I interact with my fan base, and how I interact
yeah,
with the other lifters in the community in the lifting world. Like I feel like I definitely gave them a hard time, but they've raised me, I feel like, into, someone who I feel good about how I interact with people in the space. And,
absolutely, man. That's
I
awesome,
think
dude.
when people tell me that, like when you told me that you really like how I talk to other people and like, when people tell me, how I conduct myself, how I treat others, like that's the biggest compliment, like, you
Yeah,
can give me. Like
absolutely.
you can say, I pop off. I bring hype to the platform. I'm a good
Yeah,
lifter. I talk my trash without, trying to insult anyone, make it
yeah,
personal. Like that's great. But when it comes down to it, man, like none of that's gonna matter. Listen, like I would be so it would be so full of myself to assume that I'm the pinnacle of the sport that the sport is going to reach, right?
Right.
Perk, if I'm coming for Perk, someone's going to come for me eventually. That's just how it
Absolutely.
is. This
That's how it's
sport,
supposed to be.
there's less than a million people in this sport, and we think we have the top of the talent pool. We're nowhere
Not even close.
close. We're the
Yeah.
tip of the iceberg. There's going
Yeah.
to be some kid who's younger, who's been working for it harder, been working for it longer, who's just straight up better, who's going to come
Yeah.
along and he's going to snatch it, and that's how it is. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, your accolade, that's for you. That work you put in, that's for you. But who are you at the end of the day when you don't have any of that? You know what I mean? Who are you? How do you treat people? And
Absolutely.
so that for me, that's my four most influential people. Because I think my parents raised me that way, and they really helped me become that person. I'm really happy I became that person. And then I think,
Absolutely.
Will help with my training, Adam with my training. So I got to shout them out
Absolutely.
because I wouldn't have gotten to this point without them
No, I
either.
mean, and that's the thing. I think people have to understand, man. Like we are a product for those people around us. We're a product of our environment. We're a product of those people and those things that influence us. And when we see you, we might see this awesome, funny guy, energetic, brings the ruckus every time. But he's also a culmination of a lot of people, a lot of efforts, a lot of love, a lot of time, a lot of patience. That and it's all rolled into one. And you know this is the product of what it means to have people invest their time, effort, love, and patience into a person. And then couple that with next level talent, and you got yourself somebody that can really, really make some crazy things happen on the platform. And we I talked about it before in podcast past that this is not a hard sport in any form or fashion. It's more of an activity than it really is a sport. There's the sport like portions of it, but at the end of the day, we're picking stuff up and putting it right back down.
Mhm.
And I mean, that doesn't necessarily require a lot of skill. There's some technique that's involved, but at the end of the day, what makes us different from anything else, our biggest point of differentiation is our community, the people in it, how we treat one another, whether it be good or bad, and really how we relate to one another. I think that's what makes us special, and that's what keeps people coming back. That's what keeps people wanting to see it propel like forward to grow more and more and more. And that's what brings us people like yourself, that brings us people like Perk, that brings us people like Balls, that brings us people like Taylor Atwood. And I mean the list goes on and on and on. Like there's a reason why you 1% of the 1% are walking the planet doing what you're doing, because you found a way to fall in love with this community, and the community's found a way to embrace you. And not only have they found a way to embrace you, but they found a way to really find favor in what you're doing. And I think that's the biggest compliment to who you are. And of course, the type of person you are, the type of person that you continue to be, the type of man that you're maturing into being. That's a direct reflection of your parents, man. That like I can tell you right now, dude. When I was 19, I was not this well spoken. I was not this well mannered. I was nuts, dude. I was nuts. So everything but a straight jacket, kept me out of jail. So I feel like you're just you're a rare breed, man. But the cool thing I'm starting to notice more and more and more is that your type of lifter, your type of personality, your type of good person is starting to become more of a commonality in this community. And that's great for us. That's what we need. If we're going to see this sport grow, it's not going to grow because we're moving crazy weight. If people want to see crazy weight being moved, they could easily watch World's Strongest Man.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean? Like, but what can propel us forward is the fact that we have a lot of really good people, like that really want to see the spirit of sportsmanship grow, that really want to see people be the best version of themselves. And then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, these are the same people that were trying to beat you are going to be the same people that hug you when you get first place on the platform.
Exactly.
That's rarely seen in any other sport. So I think guys like yourself that are willing to talk that talk, but also walk that walk. And then when they're done walking and they're done talking, they're willing to sit down and just treat everyone nicely, fairly, and just treat them like, like the great individuals that they are. I really feel like that's what makes our sport special. So kudos to you for that. Big kudos to you for that.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Now, final question.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? We're gonna do a little bit of projection here, okay? We're gonna set the
Projection.
mood, if we will.
Set the mood.
We may be a year from now, we may be 2 years from now, we may be 5 years from now, we may be a few months from now, we may be 9, 10, 12 months from now. You just go up, you put up a 9.17.5 total to squeak by Perk, who put up a 9.15. You both went 9 for 9. He weighed 73.91. You weighed 73.90. Almost identical stats. It comes down to the last pull. You get choice of the last pull because for some reason, your pull's been going bananas. Per goes up, he pulls something nutty. We got to beat him. We got to beat him, says Coach. We got to beat him. I know we got to beat him. I don't want to know what's on the bar, Coach. Just put whatever you want to be put on the bar. Just put whatever I need to win. Okay. So you play chess. He pulls. All right. It's there. So now you got to pull something you never pulled before. Oh, man. It's nasty.
So it goes.
It's 20 keys more than you've ever even put on the bar, but this is the only way we can win. Okay. But we could tie him. You're less than him. I don't want to tie. I want to win. Well, you can win by body weight. No. I want to outright win. This is not, I don't want to play chess, but I really want to outright win. You don't understand. You have to understand where I'm at with this one. I know your brain. I know your brain. Okay. I don't want to tie. I want to do it for real. Okay. So the weight's put on. You go out there. Chalk up. Bars loaded. You walk up. People are going crazy. It's going crazy. Whoever the IPF Sentinel is, he forgets that he's in a match, takes it off, and just yelling. He completely gives away himself. People are losing their minds right now. You look forward, mom and dad are going insane. You take a slight look to the left, and over your shoulder, you see Perk peeking from the back, looking at what you're doing. The 83s are getting ready to go, but around the corner, you see Joe Bornstein standing with his arms folded, looking at what you're about to do. Because this total won't only be big for the 74s, but it's going to be bigger than the 83 total at this point. All right, here we go. Walks up, gets the grip, pulls the slack. Uh-oh, this bar feels lighter than I thought it was.
Always, bro.
Stands up.
Always.
A little bit of grind midway. Crowd gets louder. Glutes activate. Pops through, passes through, holds it. You get the down call. Oh no, I'm gonna hold this for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me talk my talk a little bit. I'm gonna slam that thing down. Say what I have to say to the camera. I am the future. I am the future. Walk off to the back. Everyone goes crazy. You get your trophy. You get your crown. You are now Zeus. You are now top of the iceberg. You are now the tip of the spear. You are the man. Guys, let's go celebrate. Hell yeah, let's go celebrate. Walking out of the venue. Uh-oh, wait a minute. LS has got a gun. It's to my face. The only way you make it out of this alley, all of that to say you got a gun to your face. The only way you make out of this alley alive is you got to give me 15 seconds of a song. Otherwise, you're not out of here. Not only am I taking the trophy, but I'm taking your life. What do we do? What do you do? I set you up. This is perfect. I set you up.
Bro, I was expecting you were going to say, there's no music, you got to sing. You just finished that, yeah, I'm going to put a gun to your head.
Gun to your head. The only way you make it out of this alley alive is 15 seconds of a song. Verbatim. It could be anything.
Verbatim.
It could be anything. If you miss
my gosh.
you're done.
Dude, the pressure. The pressure is on, yeah. Bro. This is more pressure than I ever had, bro.
I'm telling you, and all with American gun violence. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'm as Texan as they come. So it has to be 15 seconds of any song. It could be a jingle. It could be intro to a song. It could be a rap song. It could be a country. It could be anything in the world. But it has to be 15 seconds. Could you Make it out of the alley alive. 15 seconds of a song
Bro,
from the man that loves music.
y'all missing the easy answer here, bro. Bro, nah, should I take the cheap way out? Is that who I am?
I
Is
mean,
that
I don't know. Listen, I just
it's
saying,
like gun to your head though?
guns to your head, but also remember, you're a champion. So what would a champion do? That's all I'm saying.
Dude.
What would a champion do? Now listen, you didn't roll the dice, all the meat until you got to the very end of the meat. Like, you know what, dude, let's do it. I want to go for the win. So, are you just doing just enough to get out?
Or are you going? Are you
Or are you
spirit
going
of the
for it?
moment? You got to go for it. I would low key. I was gonna rob you, and I was gonna say happy birthday.
Oh, here's the thing.
But that's cheating. But
That's
cheating.
not cheating. Any song. Any song. But
Any
here's
song?
the thing. I will say this. If you go happy birthday, you have to actually sing it. Literally sing it.
Nah, bro. But I have my song though, because it's it.
Okay.
We're talking. If I beat Pride, that's spirit of the underdog, bro. Right?
Yeah.
You know Philly, right?
Absolutely. Oh, no.
Underdog song. Nah, you're not thinking. No. Are you think? I'm not saying Eagles. I'm not saying Eagles. Who
No,
else?
no.
You
Okay. You
you
what?
talking? You talking Rocky? Rocky Balboa? You know the song I'm talking about,
Rising
right?
up, of course. You know what? Here. I'm
You
going to
ready?
mute this mic. It's all yours.
All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's not the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of the rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us roll with the tiger.
Yeah. All right. Now I owe you money. That's what I'm talking about. Elliot, you are an absolute gem. I
This is my
I
dad.
mean, as Philly as it comes, as Philly that is as Philadelphia as it comes. Listen, I am so excited for. I'm mad that it took me so long to get you on this podcast, but I'm glad that it took me a little bit because honestly, dude, this was absolutely worth the wait. This is more than worth the wait. I think people just. I think a lot of times people get caught up thinking that you're a persona. I think people get caught up thinking that you're something that you're not, and I think they know that you're a really good dude, but I think a lot of times a really good guy gets overshadowed by being a really great lifter. And, you know, even for me, I knew you were a good guy because you've always been spoken highly of, but I think it's so hard to look past how great of a lifter you are. And then when I'm able to actually see past that and see like, oh, this dude's got a lot of rhyme and reason. He's actually pretty freaking funny. You know, and the more you talk to him, like, oh yeah, he's definitely from PA. Oh, he's definitely East Coast guy. Like, it's just the more you talk, the more I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely East Coast dude, and that's great, man. You know, it's weird because I vowed to myself I would never like anybody anywhere around or near the Philadelphia area. Anybody that likes green is just like it's freaking. Oh man, dude, you know what? It's Cowboys for life, but you know it is what it is. I'm not gonna hold it against you that you're, you know, that you like those birds. It just is what it is. I mean, I'd like to think the reason you guys are so good is because of a Texas guy. Shout out Jalen Hurts. But I just, oh man, it's just, you know, something about it's just they can't make me like. I almost like the Eagles for a little bit.
Really?
But
Was it when they
almost.
were going against the Chiefs?
No, it was just because they have a lot of my. Okay, here's the thing, man. God, I have to preface it by saying this. I am currently.
You better betray yourself, bro. You better betray.
No, you got to hear me out because this is how I even put it on Facebook, bro. This is how deep I went with it. I don't even use Facebook like that. I literally put on Facebook for 2 seasons. I will not be a Cowboys fan for the way that they're handling things. So last season was my first season of being off of the Cowboy boat. I'll like the players, but I'm not going to be a fan of the team. Jerry Jones needs to go. But that being said, I was opening up for free agency to like, all right, I'll join somebody's team, but it can't be the Redskins, the Commanders, and it cannot, I repeat, cannot be the Eagles. And when you know, the first people on my line, in my DMs are Eagles fans, of course. Just can't do it. But here's the thing. The Eagles have a ton of players that I like. Like
Oh,
a
oh.
ton. But I can't like the team. I like the head coach, but I can't like the team. It's hard. But there's honestly probably
It sounds. You know what? It sounds like you're an Eagles fan.
no, not at all, not at all. Now here's the thing. I'm you know, oh God, you know what? Forgive me, Cowboys fan out there. I even use the Eagles defense in my fantasy football. Like, I know, it is what it is. But again, I'm a free agent right now. The team that I ended up going with, the Lions, because they sucked for so long and then they became good for a little bit. But I'm just not allowed to be an NFC East fan of anything else. That's just how it is. So that's my reasoning behind it. I can't. You can't make me love the Eagles. I like the players. But I just can't do it. So all that to say, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time out. I appreciate your dad making a rare cameo. I appreciate that. Like I said, Cowboys for life. Fry, Eagles fry.
No.
But no, but really, man, thank you so much for those that are looking to follow you, for those that are looking to follow your journey. Where can you be reached?
Malicious underscore lifts on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube. It's
Perfect.
everywhere. Listen, and my malicious might be in the name, but there's no malicious intent. There
No,
really
man, there's
isn't. I
no.
love all my competitors, all my friends. You guys are the greatest. And I know I talk some trash on Joe B, on
It's
all
all
y'all,
good, man.
but I
But listen,
love you
that's what
guys.
the
I
game's
love
about.
you guys. That's what it's
That's what the
about.
game's about. If I'm trying to think, any words that you have for people in closing, is there anything you want to say to people? Like any words of encouragement, anything, man. Like the floor is all yours, and we'll cut it off after that. It's all you, bud.
Listen, man. Whether you're winning your local meets, winning your national championships, winning your worlds, whatever you are doing this, whatever goal you're doing this for, just just keep in mind none of that. Whether you get that goal, whether you reach that goal, what people think of you when you reach that goal, it don't matter. What matters is that you committed yourself to something. You truly put in the work. You went in there and you did that. You worked for something. How many people can say that they set their eyes on something and they worked for it? Whether they got it or not, they set their eyes on something and they put everything into it. That alone, that journey, that work you put in, what you do when you're going for something, that's the real takeaway. That's what you win. You don't win a medal, you don't win a trophy, you win the experience, you win the journey, everything it teaches you. This sport, the work it's put in, I've won plenty of medals. I've won plenty of best lifters. But what I've won and what I've earned more than this is direction. I've earned the ability to work hard and different things and everything. It gives me so much. And so don't get lost in the medals and the goals and all that. Get lost in the work, man. Get
Let's
lost in the
go.
work.
That's awesome. Dang. Woo! I'm going to make that a soundbite. I'm going to put that in my own personal files. Gonna play that before Top Set. Y'all think I'm joking? You wait. You just wait. Elliot, I appreciate you more than you know, man. I want to thank you for your time, for your effort, for what you do for the sport, just for the inspiration that you provide, for the fire that you add, for the fire in your belly. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I have bench right now, and I'm probably going to run through a wall before I go bench.
You show me the outline.
It's gonna be Bugs Bunny style, dude. I appreciate you. I really thank you for your time, man. If you ever need anything from me, man, you know where to find me. I'm really a fan, man. I look forward to seeing you go crazy, man. I'm gonna have to check this budget, man, and see if we can't make it a rising tide, man. Because I'm ready to see you go show out a
Dude,
little
it'd be
bit.
amazing.
I
It'd be
mean,
amazing.
it's all about pushing the needle, man, and really propelling this thing forward, man. And the only way it's going to be done is top lifters like yourself really pushing for that next level. So I thank you for that. I thank you for this time. I thank you for this podcast, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the legend in the making, Elliot Sykes. Man, that was wow.